Good afternoon, friends. How are you today? Just doing a little bit of background housework here, just to get everything set up as I want it to be, and then we will get into it. Hope you all are enjoying Clash for the Throne at the minute. It is running currently. I'm finding it hard to find targets in the kingdom I'm in currently, but we'll get there. So the first thing I want to do actually is bring up my webcam. There we go. Hello everybody and anybody. So I'm going to go over a few things today, but I want to do it when there's a few people online. And it is just pertaining to the troop calculator. Some people are finding some anomalies, and we're going to have to try and iron them out. And what I mean by that is we're going to have to find a way of being able to prevent the anomalies from happening. Sorry, I'm just moving a few windows around here. So as I can see my chat. So yeah, basically what a couple of people have asked a couple of things. One is regards to the order in which the sorry, something just crossed my mind there. One thing is in regard to the order of which you train troops. It would be handier to have them maybe a different way set up. So we're having a look at that, and hopefully we can solve that. But it's not just a simple case of dragging a row into a different position, because all of the data assigned to that row will then change to the row that takes its place. So there is a little work involved in doing that. But two things that I have noticed now that I'm moving it more, and more importantly, a good friend of mine, first name Chuck, he has noted that regardless of whether you have a downloaded copy or you're running off the shared version, which is on Google Documents, if you select, everything seems to select perfectly given your leadership setup. But what isn't selecting selecting correctly, or in his case at all, are the mercenaries. So for example, this is my setup for Seasonal Kingdom, and my leadership value for my, I think it's Cleo. No, when was the last time we did an attack on this? That's actually not this. This is an old one. But anyway, my leadership value, for example, let me just change something on here. No, that's monsters. Sorry, that was dominance. My leadership value, start again, is 76,828. Okay, that's for my Cleo. Now, if I basically fill them figures to fill her leadership up correctly, and I select, let's say, the demonic salamander, eternal cannoner, warden, wyvern, scarface, etc., 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 the numbers that it is giving me are way off what they should be for my leadership value and my authority, more to the point. But it's basing it, I'm assuming, on the leadership value. I don't know why, and we're going to try and find out what the problem is there. But I just give you an example, okay? Let's just say that my authority was above that total. I think it currently is, but there is no way on this planet I would want to bring 78 Wyvern into battle with the G6 and G7 and S6 troops that I have, because the Wyvern is going to be the first thing that gets struck if the epic gets the first hit. Worst case scenario, and in best case scenario, it gets first hit, but then it's going to die in the second attack. We don't want that happening. So all of these numbers here are way out, and I don't know why, and I'm just trying to find out. My friend who has let me use this calculator, I've sent a couple of messages to him. He's a busy guy, so we're all going to have to just bear with it while he looks in and finds out what the issue is here. I am assuming there's a possibility of maybe being able to change these figures down here in dominance and or authority, but I'm not 100% sure if it's as simple as that. But look, we'll get to the bottom of it. But what I would suggest you do for now as a rule of thumb, and that is just keep your mercenary levels low. Okay, I mean, look, the majority of you on low level accounts won't have a massive amount of mercenaries. So it's not going to matter to you. I mean, you might be lucky to maybe get 10 or 20 Wyvern from the mercenary exchange. Obviously, you can't do that in Seasonal Kingdom. You can only get them from the chests that are supplied in some. I think it's in the forest. Not in there now. It's in the forest shop. So what I would suggest you do is you keep this really low. You'll have to just try and come up with a suitable solution. For example, given the fact that I'm 130 million might at the minute, and I'm just using my Cleo, for example, I noted earlier on when I was attacking one of the epic squads here that I was only carrying 8 Wyvern. And they were managing to last right until the bottom of the list. So they were getting repeated hits in. So while we're just ironing this out and trying to find a solution or see where the glitch is, don't be afraid to just tinker with that slightly. Your best thing to do is pick a low figure. Have a look at your attack sheet afterwards, your attack report, and just make a tiny tweak in there. Obviously, bear in mind the old adage that if you are attacking an epic, you will 99.9% of the time, unless you're a billion plus might player and the epic is a low level, you're going to die every time. So it's all about strength. You want the strongest squad basically to do the most damage. But you want it so that you get repeated hits on your mercenaries, and they're the last things that die. So like I say, start low and you can tweak it upwards. My point was there, if you take an odd number, so for example, if you take 10 Wyvern, when the Wyvern get killed, 1 is all you lose. So it's 1% of the amount, the total you take. If you take 20, you lose 2. If you take 30, you lose 3. I'm talking about reviving afterwards. If you take 5, you still lose 1. So where possible, unless it means that the Wyvern or whatever mercenary you're using are getting attacked straight away at the top of the list and really only getting 1 hit or 2 hits in, and you have maybe 14 or 15 stacks, then I would suggest you drop it down, regardless of the fact that you may lose more than 1. But it's just a fine balancing act. So yeah, look, until we get this sorted and find out what the issue is, just bear with me as regards that. If you want to message me, it's hard to give an example because I need to know a lot of things about your army strength and health, what artifacts you're using, what gear you're using, etc, etc, etc. So it's not something I can help you with. Plus, I have noticed that Chuck, thanks for pointing out the few issues you were having. When you sent me your sheet and I opened it, it automatically takes on my next sheet that I try and do, automatically copies from your one. So it meant I had to start all over again. Again, look, at these are little ironing out issues. I know the troop calculator works. It works perfect for all your silver troops, i.e. troops that are made with silver. The monsters seems to work perfectly as well. If I select monsters, I do know that this is correct. So if you can see on my monster sheet there, this would be the correct number to take. If you wish, you can again level these to 0 numbers, so 30 instead of 33, again downscale to 30. the 41 you could scale to 40 and vice versa. You're better off going down than going up, because it just means that your monsters still will get more hits further down in the stacks as the attack takes place. So yeah, that's basically just what I can touch on with Calculator. I don't think there's anything else really to talk about on that. So we shall just lose that window and flick back to the game. So what else to say? Let's have a quick look and see, is there anybody online today? Because I have my windows all over the place today and I can see nothing. Okay, so a couple of viewers there. That's grand. Yeah, so actually I can lose this window now. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to make a little change here, but I'm not going anywhere. As they say, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so drop that. I'll lose that. And let me have... Let me have this. How's that? Can see a little better now as to what is going on. Okay. I think I'm good to go. I just want to lose that chat pop out. Close that, and that should restart the chat. Perfect. Okay, good to go. Legru, how are you? Thanks for joining me. I just did a little revision there on the troop calculator. Just a couple of little anomalies that some guys were noticing, guys and girls, I may add. So we are going to take a look at it and see if we can iron out the problems. Excuse me, taking a drink. So yeah, today, I don't know what we're going to do on the live stream today. I might do a little more hunting. It is, as I say, Clash for the Throne at the minute. Hopefully there are plenty of you enjoying Clash for the Throne tournament. But it's odd. Well, it's not odd. It's awkward that it falls, as does KVK. Well, no, KVK actually wouldn't start until today. KVK would have started today. Yeah, Clash for the Throne obviously runs into Rise of Ancients. So I know a lot of people in my kingdom here were shouting and saying, look after your silver, Clash for the Throne is on, you're going to lose your silver. Obviously you will do if you take your shield down. What we used to do in our old kingdom, and we still do currently, is we really don't start Clash for the Throne until the second day, and by that stage all the silver has been used on troops and or banked. So yeah, that's the clever way to do it. Obviously if you're not getting great gifts from Clash for the Throne, if you're not getting great gifts for Rise of Ancients, then it doesn't really, won't really bother most people. But yeah, that's why you'll see so many big players. Speaking of big players, that's why you'll see so many big players all shielded up during Kingdom versus Kingdom and during Clash for the Throne. And that's basically because they're just guarding their silver, because they're getting billions, and I mean billions of silver every time they kill Ancients there. And I noticed somebody lost their shield yesterday. It was so sad. I don't think I saved it, but there was a guy, I think he was K75, guy or girl, and their shield had obviously dropped. Somebody scouted them and they had amassed a total of 2.7 trillion silver. So yeah, the map just looked like a firework display, because there were lines running from kingdoms as far away as 220, trying to race to a city to try and get some silver. But that went really fast. 2.7 trillion might sound like a lot, but when you are playing players who are in the 2 billion and 3 billion might category, They can carry such a large army. And once all his troops were dead, you only have to carry G1, Guardsmen 1 troops. They have the best carrying capacity, and one of them big players could probably carry 3 captains, a hero, and all of Guardsmen 1 level only. And they'd be able to take that silver in massive chunks. They'd probably be able to carry, at a guess, maybe 6 to 7 billion, maybe more at a time, maybe 10 billion at a time. So yeah, that will go really fast. So yes, what to do today? I might do a couple of attacks actually, just to keep it interesting. I'm going to hit one of these guys. Hopefully they're not on my channel. If they are, my apologies to you. But it's Clash for the Throne. If nothing else, to chase a few ingots. In fact, where am I at the minute? I'm in first position. Maybe I won't do any attacks today. Sure, what's the point in doing that, right? What else? I didn't make any notes today as to what I was going to do, so we'll just run it on the fly. That's him. Yeah. It was Zliuka, or whatever way you pronounce that name. Yeah. He'll be sad when he logs on. I mean, look, he's in a big clan. He'll get it back over time. So it's not the end of the world. We've all done it at some stage. We've all forgotten about a shield and got attacked. Happened to me too. I think I lost, the worst it was, I think I lost 13 billion one time. I was actually sick at the time and totally forgot that the shield was going down. And yeah, as they say, SH1T happens. I'm only on the water today. That's not straight vodka, for those doubting. I don't have an alcohol problem. Mainly that I can't get enough. Yes, so what'll we do? They're doing a lot of attacks. I might just hit this guy. I would like to catch him in though. So let us flag. No, I'll find him in the channel. Well, I won't. I won't. I'll just have a look around. I might actually log into Seasonal Kingdom. What time is it now? 2:20. Trying to work out. I think it's every 2 hours that there's a mini event on. So there was one on at 9, 11, 1. So the current one is probably over now. But I might just log into that actually. So give me a second here and I will lose my total battle window and stay with you. And then I can just switch accounts and we'll just have a quick look and see what is on currently. And go back to Total Battle again. Okay, nothing to take. How are we now? Yeah, that's good. And no, there isn't anything running at the minute, so be it. Grab a few of the chests and I might just have a quick look. I'm finding it hard to get to where I want to. As I think I mentioned in the last in the last video, I'm hoping to get to G8, and once I get to G8 I am out of here because this is just taking up way too much time. I have 3.78 trillion VP at the minute. I think it's 4.62, something like that, for march speed and cost. I think it's march speed and cost. Guardsmen, no, it's Guardsmen 2. Guardsmen 2 is Guardsmen 8. I actually can't remember. I'm nearly sure it's 4.8 trillion twice, and then it's something like 900 billion for the troops. So yeah, I'm finding it really hard to keep up. at that. So I'll have to see how I go. If I reckon I can't make it, I'll probably jump out of the clan to give somebody else a chance. But look, we'll see how it goes. What else? What else is running in Seasonal Kingdom? Actually, I was doing okay. Oh yeah, good. I must have got a 10% strength there. Beast Slayer tournament. Yes, I did. Where to finish? 90th position. Wow, that was close. So I just snuck in by the skin of my teeth. So I got an extra 10% to strength and health for whatever it is, 14 days, I think it is. What does it say? It is for... No, it doesn't show me. Oh, it'll say it in the titles, won't it? Titles, Chief, isn't that the one? Nope. Beast Slayer, Daredevil, for 7 days. There you go. So I get an extra 10% army health and strength. 10% is nothing in this game, obviously, because it's all the low end. It's not stacked stuff. What else? Mod, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Welcome to the channel. Apologies if I've pronounced that incorrectly. You are G4 level. Just want to know if in Seasonal Kingdom all rewards and hero level will be preserved in main account or not. So basically the way it will work for Seasonal is at the end of Seasonal, or whatever troops you have to whatever gifts you take each time you go through a troop. Let me just pull up that window. So for G4, okay, if you select it to go to your Seasonal Kingdom account, it stays in your Seasonal Kingdom account. If you decide for it to go to your main account, then those gifts, i.e. the weapons, the armor, and the gems, not the gems and enchantments, sorry, I know what I'm looking at here. The selection, so the armor that you get for that level, unless you've chosen it to go to your main account, it will stay in your Seasonal Kingdom account. You will always have it on your Seasonal Kingdom account and you'll be always able to use it, but you'll have to change onto your Seasonal Kingdom account to be able to use it. So when if you've decided how far you're going to go, whether you're going to get to Guardsman level 5, Guardsman level 6, 7, 8, etc., that's where you make your decision. Me personally, I've left up to Guardsman level 6. No, I've left up to Guardsman level 7 here in Seasonal Kingdom account. Once I hit G8, these selection I'm going to send to my main account. I did actually tell a lie. On my G7, when I got G7, I did select the Forest Crown. So that's gone to my main account. So yeah, basically anything that you get, you have to choose whether it goes to your Seasonal Kingdom or to your main account. Goes to your main account, then you go in and you open the chest in the main account and you'll see those the selection gifts there. Just also while I'm on that subject, there will be an event that will run in your main account after Seasonal Kingdom ends, and it is called Seasonal Legacy. I think it's Seasonal Legacy or Seasons Legacy, something like that. And basically that event runs for possibly a month. I think it's a month. Maybe it's not, maybe it's less, maybe somebody will tell me, but it runs for a while, and every attack that you do, you will gain points, experience points towards that, and from that you will get extra stars for your new captains if you chose Beowulf or Skadi, or you will get artifacts, artifact pieces to improve your artifacts, be it Forest Crown or Heart of the Forest. So that basically is an add-on on the Seasonal Kingdom, and it runs, as I say, in your main account after this Seasonal Kingdom finishes. So I hope that answers your question. You have a main account G4 level. Also, can't I do good if I start Seasonal Kingdom without paying a dime? Honestly, at this stage, if you're thinking of starting Seasonal Kingdom, you will not do well. You certainly will not be able to do it without spending a dime, as you say. I would suggest you've left it too late. 87 days, so we've gone through, we're over halfway now, as 47 days are gone. The chances of you getting into a Seasonal Kingdom clan at this stage that's going to be any use to you at all is highly unlikely, unless you're lucky enough to jump into a clan that some players have already received or done their tasks and got up to G8 and G9. But to be honest, you really probably have left it too late. I know the few other people I know of who have joined it, and they're finding it very hard to find a clan, and B, they're finding it very hard to find a clan that they don't have to at least get Forest Pass and Triumphal Challenge Pass. So you're not going to be able to do it on a dime. I don't know what you mean by a dime. I don't know how much you're talking about spending or hope to spend, or as little as hope to spend. So no, to answer your question, it will cost you. If you come into it now and you try to get into a decent clan, look, you're probably not going to be able to. In all honesty, people have been here now for 47 days and they've already got their Carters up to such a decent level that they're able to crypt a level 25 in one go, epic crypts in one go, rare crypts in one go. You know, you will find it very hard to be able to keep up with clan requirements if you came into Seasonal Kingdom at this stage. So honestly, I would suggest to you to wait until the next one. Given the fact we're in the middle of the year, I've a funny feeling, given the money that Total Battle have made from this Seasonal Kingdom, they 100% will run another one, in my opinion, before the end of the year. So just keep an eye out and go to the next one and try and start it from day one. That's my advice to you. Sorry, I'm not in Seasonal Kingdom next time, but how could we find good clan for Seasonal right now? You're in K227. So the best way would really be to have a chat in Kingdom Chat in 227 and see if you can get 50 like-minded players who are prepared to put a team in and just make a clan from scratch. Like that's what we did in our kingdom. So there's probably about 40, maybe 45 of us from one clan, the Hype Clan, who decided to come in and do Seasonal Kingdom. Most of the guys have already did it last year twice, and they've already got Beowulf and Skadi, and this time they were simply coming in to get the Forest Crown and the Heart of the Forest artifacts. And like that, they've achieved it now, but they're just going to stay on till the end. Now it's just about building your city and making it something useful to be able to use as a silver account or a silver alt for later, or do something else with. Who knows what they'll use theirs for. But yeah, that's what my suggestion would be, is have a chat with the other players in your kingdom and just gather a list, compile a list, and see if you can get 50 or 60 players, even 30 or 40 would be a start, that are looking to do the same and go into Seasonal Kingdom. And at least then you have a bunch of players that you can either start a clan or bring to a clan. But it's, as I've said already, if you have never done Seasonal Kingdom before, it is just bonkers. And by bonkers, I mean it's just crazy. It's you would literally need to leave your main account and maybe only go in once or twice a week into your main account to do whatever clan requirements you need, collect any chests you need, and after that you will literally spend hours, and I mean hours, in Seasonal Kingdom to try and keep up and to try and progress and get the artifact and the captains you need. So look, it's without having a half decent main account and knowledge of the game, it's really, really, really hard. I can't stress that enough. There's no amount of, can you do a video on this, can you do a video on that, to tell people what it's like. It's just crazy. It's you can't even open a portal here in this kingdom at the minute to get a crypt unless you're literally waiting to click to close the portal, because there's a good chance you're going to get attacked, because other players in the kingdom want to steal silver now. They've got all their troops, they've got massive armies. There's a few players in our kingdom already have G9s. So look, they've G9, M9, S9. They are just... They have all the troops. You wouldn't stand a chance against them. It's crazy. Hence why everybody here near enough have shields up. Do you know what I mean? We're all shielded here by the odd player. Even with us having Ulrich. I mean, I have Ulrich at the minute, but I still have a shield up. Do you know what I mean? It's mental. What else? Also, another my alt account in K220 is being thrashed by GTO. Yeah, I've heard about them. So much so that we're in K198 currently. Well, I'm in K198 currently. And I know the guys here, the king in K198 has asked none of us to attack GTO kingdoms. They're too far away anyway. 220 is like it's probably a 4-minute scout, maybe 3-minute scout. So with an army, it's probably going to take the guts of... No, in fact, it's not. It's under a minute scout for me with S9 scouts and speed gems. But for me to attack anything in 220 is probably going to take the guts of 4 to 6 minutes. I wouldn't waste my time unless I saw something massive. But yeah, I've heard all about GTO. I would suggest to you to move kingdoms. What's the point in staying there? I know they might move on, but they might not. That's what happens to these big clans. If you have a large clan like that and they want to do nefarious activities and they want to just ruin people's games and just attack everything, there's no stopping a clan like that from doing that. There was something similar happened probably about a year and a half ago now. Would it be a year and a half? A year and a half, 2 years ago. Back when I was in Kingdom 70, it was either 78 or 70 with the DOD clan. Shout out to the DOD clan, any of the guys on there watching the stream. Be nice to touch base with you again. Molanus, who was the king up there. I don't know if he's moved since. I just thought he did. But anyway, I digress. So, yeah, there was a clan, a breakaway from DOD, Death on Demand, and they call themselves GOD. Now, they are up in one of the low kingdoms higher up north, and they had a breakaway from that clan called KWH, Knights with Honor. And they basically put a load of big players into that, and they went to help kingdoms that had a problem with a clan that was ruining the kingdom. And basically they went to a kingdom, I can't remember which one it was now, some of you might remember, some of you might not, but they went to that kingdom and basically they crushed the clan that was causing all the problems. And yeah, that kind of worked. But you know, bar somebody deciding to have the time and wanting to go into battle and take away, you know, every chance they have of being able to kill epics and do their Rise of Ancients event. Look, some players might. Look, it's maybe something to see if you can chat with some of the guys, maybe the guys in OST or KOK, or maybe even look up KWH. If you go into the global chat, I don't know if anyone has plans to do something about GTO. I don't know what they're there for. I don't know what the reasoning is behind them coming in and ruining a kingdom. Maybe they just want everybody out so they can keep the kingdom for themselves, and that leaves them open to be able to do all the crypting, citadel attacking, kill all the epics there. So look, maybe that's they've just come in with a heavy-handed attitude, and that's what they want to do, is just wreck the place. But they can. That's the nature of Total Battle, unfortunately, and that's why it's called Total Battle. What is peaceful you suggest to progress fast? I mean, supportive and most chests. Where are you asking? Which clan to move to? What might level are you? It'll give me an idea of what size you are. And would it just be you? Yeah, I understand you being kingdom, but what might level are you? Are you sub 20 or 30 million might? Are you sub 100 million might? And is it just you who wants to move? I might be able to help you out there. 7 million. Okay. Where is a safe kingdom? A lot depends on what you want to do. I mean, you could just jump to 2 kingdoms above you, or 2 kingdoms to the right, or 2 kingdoms. Where are you? Actually, let's have a quick look. I'll go on to the world map here and take a little rundown. Oh yeah, of course I'm miles away. Way all the way down. 227. Is that where you were? Yeah, okay. 7 million. So you're getting on 8 million might. So 227. Let's have a quick look. Is your kingdom open yet, actually? No, it isn't. Sure it's not. In fact, why are these not showing up? Oh, I can't view these in this. Okay, give me 1 minute and I am going to switch back to my main account. And for those of you wondering, I'm doing this just to protect my my anonymity as regards to my total battle ID, because I don't want anybody getting that. So I just want to switch back now to my main account and I'll be able to find you, okay? Okay, so you opened recently, okay. Well, look, even if you didn't open recently, anybody who's in a kingdom that a situation like this is happening, you can leave that kingdom. You don't have to wait for it to open. And let me just find your kingdom here on the map and come back on with the screen. So 227, there you are there. Okay. 227. Oh yeah, sorry. So it's 220. So 227 is open. Well, like, there's an option for you straight off. Why not move your alt account from 220 to 227? Surely it's peaceful in 227, yeah? You have FOC beside you there in 226. They are a big clan. Generally, anywhere that has a well-established big clan, you could safely move to. Yeah, there's GTO there. I might have a look at 220. How far is 220 away from me? Let me just click on it and see. Yeah, so 227. You could bring your alt to there. There's no real reason to have... yeah, straight away I can see there. They are causing ructions, aren't they? Here's clan capital. So I assume every clan capital down there at this stage is under a dome, under a shield. What's left on that? 2-3 hours, and they want to be. I hope you all have pocket forts. Anyway, yeah, wow, they really have made a mess there, haven't they? GTO are getting pounded as well. Yeah, I might have a look at that clan later. Yeah, why would you want to have an alt in another kingdom? The only reason I can think that you would is for during kingdom versus kingdom. So if you have an alt in another kingdom and you have collected banners, so let's say you've collected banners in 227 and 220 is also in the Bronze League, as is 227, so it means that you could steal your banners if you were being attacked at 220. 227, your alt could steal your banners until the attack passes, and then you could steal them back again. That's really the only reason. Failing that, you're better off having all of your alts in the same kingdom. There really isn't a benefit to having them kind of strewn all over the place. And you said I was with the best clan in K200 and they went to 203. Well, I mean, that's the other option. Go back to them. Send your alt to them. So at least you do have a possibility of getting in there. What's the coordinates of GTO? Actually, sorry, that was part of GTO. Yeah, so GTO have obviously come in with a lot. Okay, so somebody's obviously come into your kingdom there, 220, and they've come to help, or they're fighting back, as they are. So what clan moved to your kingdom and are helping, or is this just all your kingdom trying to get together to be able to attack these guys? But yeah, that's another option obviously for you, without kind of losing the run of things, would be for you to take your alt from 220 and send it to 203. But honestly, you're better off having your alt in the same kingdom as you for lots of different reasons, for conquest point reasons, for building silver, mining silver, using it as a silver bank. It's easier to get stuff from it, etc., etc. So I don't see the need for it to be in a different kingdom. That's what I do anyway. Yeah, well, unfortunately, it's just a case of having to save it up, isn't it? There's no simple way around that. Gold is hard come by, especially if you're playing on a budget. All you can do is be in a decent clan and just save up the gold. Don't waste it on reviving soldiers. If you have silver, I presume you do that already. You don't revive anything but mercenaries and your monsters using gold. Other than that, you can just save up. I think it's not that expensive, is it, to move kingdom? Is it 27,000 or something like that? Let me see if I can find the teleport to another kingdom. It's only 10,000. No, teleport to another kingdom. Teleport your city to the selected kingdom. Okay, yeah, it's 180,000. So yeah. Because obviously your other alt is above level 11, your capital. I assume it is if you're 7 million might. So yeah, you're just going to have to save it. It's either that or purchase a pack that gives you a teleporter to another kingdom. They're really only two options. Yeah, just seeing that there. Yeah, look, it's unfortunate. I know other players like you, smaller might players, have actually quit the game because an outlaw or an outlaw clan came to their kingdom and started wrecking everything, and they just said, I'm done. I'm not wasting any money on Total Battle when somebody can come and do this. It is sad in a way, but you know, we're not playing Sim City or Farmville here. It is called Total Battle for a reason. Obviously, Total Battle themselves don't go into the details of what can happen to you if you don't spend money in the game, because obviously if you can't afford to pay for a shield, you know, or you can't afford to buy the Ulrich hero, you're just going to get attacked time after time, especially if you're in a kingdom with so much turmoil and outlaws and outlaw clans. It's just, as I say, these are parts of the game that I want to include in the video that I said I wanted to do. In fact, it's not going to be a video. It's going to be a live stream, and it's called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of the game that is Total Battle. I want to get as many people. I might do that on Saturday. I'll see. The stream on Saturday evening at 5 p.m. I think it said 5 or 6, whatever it is. 5 or 6 p.m. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. There is a live stream that Saturday, and maybe we can just go into it in detail there if I have enough interaction and people talking and making suggestions and asking, etc., etc. So yeah, that's certainly something. If you can make it for that stream, please join me, and you know, we can make a point of picking things that really irritate players and make it so hard for players to stay in the game. Because trust me, the last thing Total Battle needs is people constantly going on about problems they're having in the game and making players leave. They want people to sign up to the game. They want to make money. They're in the business of making money, and they ain't going to make anything if they find out that players are saying, no, a friend of mine wanted to play, but I told him that there's outlaws in my kingdom, it's wrecking the game, and I'm afraid they might find that in another kingdom, so he's not going to waste any money on the game. That's the last thing Total Battle wants, trust me. So whether or not they can do something, whether it be might related, that a certain kingdom, unless you are homegrown in that kingdom, that you've grown your might up there to make it impossible for a player above maybe, I don't know, 200 or 300 million might to move into your kingdom. Even after it opens, maybe put a time cap on it of a month or 2 months or 3 months. At least that gives people time to be able to save things and buy themselves a teleporter, that if they needed to move the whole clan or just move one player, that it could be done. So yeah, that's definitely going to be an interesting one to talk about. Make a video of how to make good armor. Yeah, I can certainly do that. Obviously, making good armor, just to touch on it now that you've mentioned it, is going to be a case of you having the right equipment. And to get the right equipment, you need to have a really strong Carter. So your Captain Carter should be, when we went to Seasonal Kingdom, for example, the first thing on the list that we hammered into every person in the clan was to build your Carter. Get Carter stronger and stronger and stronger. Because the stronger he is, for starters, i.e. the higher level he is, the better he can crypt. After that, then he continues to crypt, and he can crypt larger crypts, and then you can save up and get obviously better armor. At the start, you're only making gear or armor, you know, in the kind of the green or the blue variety, which is only 5% and 8% to, oh no, where you are, sorry, Carter. I'm talking about Tomb Raider gear. So Tomb Raider gear is going to be important as you put that on him, as is any gems that you have on him as well. So yeah, I can certainly do a video on that. I'll make a wee note of that actually. Where are my notes? Talk amongst yourselves. Anybody else joining the stream there? Don't be afraid to say hello. Have any questions? Pop them in the chat. We don't bite. I'd like to know who's watching us so as we can see who might be here for the stream coming on Saturday evening. Sorry if an itchy nose today. What am I looking for? We had to do with stone, silver. Okay, and we want one on. So, making good armor. And we're going to say making good crypt gear. So yeah, I'll try and do a video on that for you. I'll probably have to do it from either one of my smaller accounts or from my Seasonal Kingdom account, because obviously I have I'm able to crypt obviously level 25s on both, and the reality of smaller players is you're probably only crypting levels 5 and 10. You just don't get the same amount of equipment fragments that you need to be able to make good gear. It is all relative to the game. Obviously the higher level you get and the more crypts, the higher the crypt level that you can open, you will get better gear as you go on. So yeah, I'll take that on board and certainly try and come up with something like that, and to be able to give you an idea of how I did it. Something else to touch on today that is not Total Battle related. This is related to This is related to Epidemic Sound. Okay, what did you do there? Have you deleted messages? Okay, so just so you know, okay, so what have we got here is a little bit of so am I not seeing some of the chats here today? Is that possible? Should see them all. Don't mind me, just checking out something here. The free key in the summoning circle wait time is 2 days. Yeah, speed ups will always be a problem in this game for sure. Yes. Anyway. Seems it's all kicking off in this kingdom at the minute. Everybody has something to give out about most time. It kind of goes on everywhere, really, you know. Yeah. Ah, yes. Politics and kingdoms are get to be a pain at times. Pity I don't have a fishing rod. I'd like to see what's in this lake that I'm beside. Anybody else joining the channel, don't be afraid to say hello in the chat. We don't bite. You won't learn anything by not asking any questions or asking me to do something or asking me about something. So don't be afraid to say hello. Streams can be very boring if people don't at least get involved, ask a question or say hello. Like I say, I don't bite. I'm very friendly, quite happy to chat about anything you may ask. Nothing is too awkward to ask. No question too silly. We all started out, and maybe 1 billion might now, but I started out at 1 million or at 1,000 might. So, you know, we've all been there. So, yeah, please get involved. Oh, and now we've dropped stream. And it looks like it's coming back up again. That was odd. So, what else was I going to say? Yeah, wow, it's really kicking off here. It's really kicking off in chat here. Lordy. Oh, apparently we have a new moderator in the chat. Maybe that's what it's to do with, rather than yeah. I like to keep appraised of what's going on. Sorry. as you all will be doing. But it just shows how things can kind of get out of hand for no apparent reason. I think everything was okay yesterday, and now today everybody's given out to somebody. Oh, goodness gracious me. Anyway, back to the stream. So yeah, what will I do while I'm here? Oh yeah, while I'm here in K198, I'm still deciding whether this will be the final resting place for the Total Battle Complete Guide clan, or whether I will go back to one of the old kingdoms I used to be in. It may be a case that I need some support, and by support, I'm just going to multitask here at the same time, and by support I mean an opportunity for the players who join the clan to be able to do CP runs, conquest point runs. So yeah, the plan may be to move again to the final resting ground of Total Battle Complete Guide clan, and when that happens, obviously I will put it out in the channel, maybe do a quick video on it, let everyone know where it is. But it is kind of the reality of creating a clan from scratch and trying to get enough players in to be able to sustain smaller players and help them along. That isn't going to be possible from scratch. So I do need a certain amount of help in that regard. And I know the last kingdom I was in, albeit I did get an offer of support there, I just know that it won't work for a clan there because the Hype clan that I just came from are so strong that basically we were killing all the epics within the space of a few minutes, and really it was given the other clans in the kingdom very little chance to be able to hit the epic for any period of time and get a chance to be able to build their players up. So I do know that one of my previous kingdoms, there is more opportunity for players to be able to get a chance to do that, and obviously the ability for larger clans to not get involved and to not get involved and maybe leave an epic for other clans to be able to attack. Because it is important. Obviously epics are what's going to drive your captains and heroes might level up, and experience points and valor points are what you're going to get from them. Obviously XP as well, but CP points that you will get from Shadow City that runs during Clash for the Throne. You know, it's all important to growing in the game, but CP runs are really important, and to be in a kingdom that you will be able to have that opportunity to do conquest point runs is really important, because if you can grow your army modernization, it will make you obviously a lot stronger when it comes to your actual hit strength on monsters, on an epics, and against other players. How to get artifact keys easily. Again, there's no easy way. If you're trying to play the game on a dime, as you mentioned earlier on in your chats, you just have to wait for it. They only come through on certain events. I think you can get them in Triumphal Challenge. No, you can't actually. Or can you? I think they're in the shop, aren't they? Yes. So they're in the shop in Triumphal Challenge. You can only get 3 at a time, and you do have to get to a certain level to be able to get them. Other than that, actually King's Mercy is running at the minute. I don't think I have enough in my other alt accounts to be able to rank in that. King's Mercy nowadays is nearly impossible to rank in. It used to be a case that it was quite straightforward, but given the fact that there are so many players now with shields, In the huge clans, they're just amassing millions and millions and millions of ingots, and they hold them until this comes on, because obviously the benefit from this is a 10% to your army health, so they want to be able to keep that there because they will use them during epic attacks. So yeah, there's no chance you're going to be able to rank in this at probably under, I would say you do well to rank in this under 3 or 4 million points now, to be honest. So you need to have, that means you need to have 3 or 4 million gold ingots in your city, which we wouldn't all have just sitting aside there unless you're shielded, as I say, constantly. So yeah, that's the answer on how to get artifact keys. Unfortunately, there is no easy way. And by the way, Ifrit Lord's Belt, whilst it is good, if you do compete in Seasonal Kingdom, you would be well advised to get the artifacts there rather than the captains. And by that I mean the Forest Crown and the Heart of the Forest. Both of those give, well, the Heart of the Forest gives strength bonus, and in fact I'll show you now exactly, because I took both of them into my main. So there is the Forest Crown, and it gives an army strength and health bonus, and gives an army strength and health bonus against other players. So that is one that's definitely worth having. You want the bonus of health and strength when you're fighting other players. And the other one is the Forest Heart of the Forest, and it gives just an army strength bonus. So I have that on Hercules at the minute for attacking epics, and that army strength is up to plus 144%. As you can see, I don't have any stars on it, or any I haven't improved the stars on it, and that will be what I'll be doing when the Seasonal Kingdom ends and the Seasonal Legacy starts. So they're really the two you want. If I was you, I would wait. It could be, what's it now, July. They might run it again near Christmas, Seasonal Kingdom. So there's a possibility at Christmas time there could be another Seasonal Kingdom event will start, maybe at the start of December and run through to January. And that would be the time to do it. If they're clever, they cash in on that, because the cash cow that is Christmas, people may have some extra money aside and decide they want to do something. But yeah, if you do get Ifrit Lord's Belt and you're lucky enough to, again, that's the army health and strength value, but you can see at 65% strength, it doesn't come close to the army strength I'm getting with the Heart of the Forest. And obviously I can level it up. The good thing about these two artifacts is you can increase their level up to its max amount without having to increase the star level. So that really is beneficial, whereas on all of the other artifacts you have to increase the star level, you need to increase the strength and health bonuses, you need to increase the artifact star level. So this basically I need to get another 4 pieces on this to be able to get it to the top level. So definitely the Heart of the Forest and the Forest Crown are the two more important artifacts to have. But if you had all three, that paired with Ifrit Lord's Belt, you pretty much will give you an ultimately stronger army, you know. Correct. Helen and Hercules are both paid captains. You can't get them any other way. You kind of get into the nature of the game here, you know. They bang on about it being free to play. It's free to play, but you're playing, and if you're in a city here, for example, and you're trying to attack this monster here, and you don't have any speed up abilities, you don't have premium active, you don't have march speed against players and monsters, then it could take you, I don't know, 14 minutes to get from your city to here to kill this. Now, that really, for me, makes the game... I don't think I could play it. Honestly, I don't think I could play it. If I was trying to play this game on a zero budget, just for gameplay and playability, it stinks. I'm sad but true. I'm only still playing it now because I've got to a level that kind of thing is not a problem for me. I have lots of speed ups, and I always go and buy the two important things: the premium to aid speed ups and to give you the bonus of archaeologist, great marshal, and great ruler, that all in themselves give bonuses to the use and playability of the game. And obviously the other one is the march speed against monsters and march speed against another player. Without that, to attack a player that's in just the next kingdom to me, I think it's taken like an hour or nearly 2 hours in some cases before I use the normal speed ups. And yeah, that cuts it right down to like 30 minutes before the normal speed up. So there is a massive difference. But if you don't pay for them, I honestly, I wouldn't play this game. Simple as that. There's the honest truth. Total battle. I wouldn't play this game if I didn't spend anything. But I'm curbing my spending. I'm certainly keeping it down to a very, very small amount. Anybody else join the stream? Don't be afraid to say hello in the chat. Just running a few crypts here while I can, because I will be joining my new clan this afternoon. Going to a clan here in K198 to give them a help out. I put it in the chat last night and told everybody to send me a message if they were interested in me coming to help them. And I have picked the clan I'm going to, and they will find out in about 2 hours time, just after this live stream. And the idea is to go in there and give them a hand. I'll be doing lots of crypts, so that'll bring chests in for the clan. Also, we'll be doing some citadel attacks, which again brings in clan chests, and basically will help drive the clan's wealth up. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure they'll be looking forward to me arriving. Yeah, good. You've got Cleo, Amanitor, and all the legendaries. Well, that's good. You have Cleo. I would strongly suggest you just keep using Cleo as your fighting captain. Don't even bother with Ade. You could run with her if you're doing more than one thing or two things at a time. But yeah, certainly push Cleo, because Cleo will be your backbone of your strong captain, given the fact that she has a bonus to strength. And Amanitor is good. Amanitor more comes into her own if other clan members have and use her during raids. She is obviously useful to be able to, if you're sending reinforcements to another city, you can use Amanitor. But at low level, she's not really that important, so I wouldn't be making her do attacks over Cleopatra. Cleopatra obviously is a no-brainer, but given the fact that you're only 7 million might, you could run the 3 captains in tandem if you're doing tasks. If you're fighting Arachne, for example, you could use the 3 of those in a tandem attack against the Arachne squad, and it will help them obviously level up as they go along. That's the quickest way to level up captains in the game, is to attack epic squads. So yeah. Anybody's just joined, please don't be afraid to say hello in the chat. Thanks for joining us today. I'm just doing a run a few crypts while I'm here. Yeah, as you can see from the speed ups there, I've got 145,000. So that again is, we seem to get more speed ups in the game now. March speed, i.e., than we ever did. We used to get better stuff in the game, i.e., you'd get more tar. You used to be able to get dragon coins in the game much easier. Speed ups, building speed ups, etc., etc. But they certainly, over the years, from when I started about 4.5 years ago now, they certainly have culled a lot of stuff that benefited players. And I know why they've done it, because they want to make more money off players, and by making them have to buy all these packs, all it's doing is feathering their nest. And Total Battle certainly isn't shy on being a money grabbing game. So yeah, that brings me back to Mode's point. Like I said, it's not, for me, it's not a game for somebody on a budget. If you want to be able to compete with people who, let's say, aren't on a tight budget. What else to do? Ah, lovely. Somebody's found me. I'm getting an attack. Great. Who's paying me a visit? Ah, my mom is paying me a visit. How sweet. Nice of Bad to come all the way to visit me. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll do something about this attack. Amazing the friends you make in this game. Yeah, I'm going to jump back onto the seasonal now in 1 second. Thanks for reminding me. Neve, welcome. How are you? Okay, let me jump back into my seasonal. And then you will have me back on the screen again. At least my game back on the screen, because I'm still here. Raiding Doomtree, which is what I need to do right now. Totally forgot it was on, and I saw it come on when I was on seasonal, and I jumped off to do something else on main, which is just as well I did, because I would have... That's only just started. That's good. Okay, raid time. Okay. What kingdom in SK are you in, Neve? Let's have a look. Let's see, there's 2 raids. I think I have everything switched on. Be unlike me not to have. We have all clan strength on. Okay, I think I'm alright troop wise. And let's go. .1013, good stuff. So you're not too far away from me. In fact, nobody's too far away from each other in this, right? How are you getting on your guardsman level? Have you hit 8 yet? Have you hit 7 yet? I presume you were there from the start. Allegro, thanks for reminding me. And yeah, Mode, back to yours. Cleo's level 70, 80 is 70, Ingrid's 60. Okay, they're good. Manator's 34. What you suggest? Which captain to level up first? What level is your Captain Carter? That's the most important one, because that's the one that's going to help you grow. Especially when Tar is hard to come by in this game. What happened there? It's alright. On the raid. Thirsty work. Can get mighty dusty here on a desk from day to day. I think it's time for a little cleanup. Where does this stuff come from? This is only cleaned the other day. Dust in the air. Anyway, I'm not going to have a debate about dust. Dust. Okay, how do we go? 19? Should I get 19? Oh, 22. Good. So that means I got them all in one go, I think. No, one more. Okay. We do a second raid. And let us just bring back our mercenaries and our monsters. Does any of you find this glitch in the game that when you're reviving something, you click on it and it doesn't revive, or it disappears and then reappears? It's a really annoying fault. Coincidentally, it didn't happen there. But if you're clicking if you're clicking very quickly to revive, sometimes I have found that to happen. Jesus, you must be miles away. And no free slots. Okay, we'll join Michu instead. Yeah, I don't. When of them, yeah, along with missing captains. It's been a while actually since I've suffered the missing captains. Yeah, I wondered. So when I'm doing that fast clicking on my sacred potions, I don't know if it actually does register twice, because I'm nearly sure I saw on my sacred potions one time that it minuses and then it plussed in the middle of that, as in it did it correct the fault. You haven't come across that, Legru, right? Maybe you're clicking too slowly. Click faster. Yeah, where am I? Am I joining one of these? Yes, let's join this one. In fact, I think this time I will take out my silvers and my monsters, because I should have enough to get that last few points. No, don't do that. Just join the goddamn raid. Okay. I like to try and save troops, but that's probably why I haven't reached the heady heights of G8s yet. At least we get some VP from this. Not on revive, but I have seen it when deleting troops. It deletes a different stack. Yeah, I've noticed that too. And that seems to be if you start at the bottom of the list. So for example, I'll delete these here. So we've got G7 Griffs here and G6 Griffs here. If this was a Griffin here and this was a monster, I have often clicked delete on that and the monster deletes. That's what you mean? That's really fucking annoying. Really annoying. Wasting dragon coins. Yet another way. The Total Battle likes to bend us over and shaft us. Sorry, I do get a little bit hung up on them, but they're just so friggin' annoying. You know, even for big players, I can imagine what that'd be like to a small player. But for large players in the game, even that gets our goat up for sure. And 1 to go. Yeah, Mercs. It is a pain. And just to reiterate, I plan on doing that during a live stream. And I would like as many people on that live stream as possible, because I want to make it solely about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the game that is Total Battle. It's going to be, I want it to be a total battle bashing and credit exercise. So where things that we've liked in the game, we let them know, and things that are really annoying, glitches and faults in the game, we also let them know. Hey, I'm only a small channel, but if there's enough people on and they take note and listen to people, you know, it's the only platform that you might be able to get them to look at and understand, because their support system, ticket system, is pure trash. I've never come across a worse gaming company that has so many faults and have so little time and simple solutions for players to fix them. And also the pittance of rewards that they give people for such serious lag and broken game time. And you get 25,000 gold. Whoop-de friggin' do. Give us some Merc packs. We'd appreciate that more than the gold. I think you'd probably agree with me, or many would anyway. But that's me just barking on there. So it's C's no supporter. They're bad. Shh. Dirty word. This is probably not new, but I just unlocked G4, M4, S3, but the game feels super slow now. Burned through all my speed boosts, and now I'm staring at 30-day timers. Is this in Seasonal Kingdom? It's C's, and thanks for joining the chat. Nice to see you. How do you stay motivated during this part? During which part? When things get slow? I don't know. It's just like for me now, because of what I'm doing and trying to help others, I'm finding it more enjoyable to play. I do look forward to logging in. Seasonal Kingdom has been a pain in the butt because I didn't do it before, and it's so draining on time compared to what you could be doing elsewhere in the game, live streaming, making videos, etc., etc. So it's taken a lot of my time up, along with just real life problems that I've had over the last few months. All in all, it's hard, but my motivation comes from helping other people. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, hey, thanks for doing this and thanks for doing that. Thanks for helping and thanks for showing us how we do things. And look, I literally I'm taking my time. I'm trying to make, I won't say a job out of this because there's no way it would pay the wages, but I'm trying to just get it to a stage where it starts to run a little bit easier. And you know, people, let's say on the Discord channel, start to help others, because obviously there are going to be a lot of vast experience level differences there. There are people on the Discord server, for example, who are like myself, 1 billion might and more, and they have the knowledge and the wherewithal. It's just a case of me, I suppose, trying to get a few more people into the circle that will give of their time as I give of mine, to help people learn the game, the pitfalls, and, you know, just stuff that you wouldn't know about, you know, unless somebody told you about it. I even had somebody on to me, talking to me the other day. They were like 660 million might, and they said, geez, I never knew that. I can't remember what the point was, but I think it was to do with stacking, bonuses stacking. And yeah, look, it's little things like that. It just help other people to understand it, because Total Battle themselves are bad, really bad at it. They flashy videos that they put out, this AI crap, and they tell you nothing. They tell you nothing that you need to know. They don't tell you there's outlaws in the game that can destroy your whole clan. They don't tell you there's outlaw clans in the game that can destroy your whole kingdom. They don't tell you about any of these things. And they've only just started to get on board with stopping these spam things that you see all over Facebook now about guys who supposedly can give you millions of silver, millions of gold, millions of resources just click here and add this link to your computer so we can scam you and get your credit card details. Like, why did it take them so long to come on? Again, that's something else to add to the list of the good, the bad, and the ugly. That is the game Total Battle. Anyway, enough about me. So, yeah, how do I stay motivated? That's it. I stay motivated from doing what I'm doing now. If I didn't have a YouTube channel and a Discord server and I wasn't helping people, I think at this stage I probably would have given up, because it eats time. It literally eats time. I mean, God. If I gave you an example of my day, and this obviously adds on what I'm doing in the background with videos, getting questions ready, answering things, taking messages in game, taking messages in Discord, I probably eat up the guts of a day's work. So anywhere between 6 and 7 hours I would be at this game daily. So it's kind of hard to do that and run a job at the same time and have a job at the same time. But on that, I'd just like to show you something. So what I do in my spare time is I do some lasering. I laser on wood products, slate products. This isn't a plug, by the way, just to friendly let you know what I do aside from Total Battle. And what I have been doing lately, and I've done for a few friends in the game and a few clans in the game, is I have put their logos onto... Oh no, of course that's not going to work, is it? There we go. Hopefully you can see that there. So that is Rico's Roughnecks, RRN, clan from K113, good friends of mine. That's where I spent a lot of time in the game. But basically, yeah, so look, I can put that onto Slate Coaster, and I use it to keep my drink on beside me. And I have made a few of them and sent them out. I can post them. I can give a link on the channel if anybody's interested in getting it. I charge $24.99 for a set of 4, and I can make a little holder for them as well. I might put a few pictures up maybe on the Discord channel. But that's my hapless plug for today. But that's what I do basically in my spare time. I am semi-retired, so I do have the time to put it in. How anybody can sit at a desk in a day job, play this game at the same time, and then go home unless they have no life. And I'm not being mean here, I'm just being honest. Just God honest. Yeah, I don't know how anybody can do it, to be honest with you, because it can just take up an eternity. It's probably the most intensive game for you not seeing a result that I've ever come across in my life. I've played a lot of console games. I haven't played too many games on PC. It is good in one way because it's all mouse driven. You're not having to press a load of up, down, sideways keys, special hotkeys, etc., etc. So it is good like that. I don't play it in the mobile. It drives me up the freaking wall playing it on the mobile. I can't find anything in it. I can't find how you can get from, and please don't answer me this question, I don't want to know, but I can't find how you get from your main to your seasonal kingdom on the mobile phone. The stuff is too small anyway to see. Scrolling the map to find mercenary exchanges is impossible. Yeah, that's another thing as well. I'm working on a mercenary exchange finder. Hopefully before the end of July I'll have that ready to go. I'll talk about it later, but I'm going to see if I can make it do other things. But really, merc exchanges are the big thing. I know there's one already. I think it's available on Google Play Store. I haven't tried it. I know a few people, a few members, friends have it and have used it and do use it, and it works good. So I'm just trying to maybe replicate that, but not have it at the same cost that they're trying to sell it for. But anyway, and what am I missing here? Sport Number says, no, it's normal kingdom. I am new to the game. All right, okay. You're new to the game and you've G4, M4 and S3 already? Well, you're not that new to the game, my friend. You're doing very well. Anybody else who has joined the stream, please do not be afraid to say hello. Do not be afraid to ask any questions. If you are new to the game and you'd like to know stuff, Osama, welcome. Thank you for saying hello. Welcome to Total Battle Complete Guide live stream. And my from 175. Good. You're not too far from me. Well, you are, I suppose. You're not too far from where you used to be. No, you're about halfway between it. Between 148 and 198, you find 175. Excuse me while I scratch my eye. Used to be so easy to do this when I didn't have to wear glasses. Alas, old age is catching up, and I am hyperopic, which basically means I used to work in the optical trade. I think I did mention that in the last video. Basically that means that my muscles in my eyes just aren't as good as they used to be, and as such it would mean that you have to squint to see things, and even that doesn't work after a period of time. So you have to get correctional glasses for reading, and for this intermediate, and for distance. My distance isn't too bad. So there's another useless bit of information about me, everybody. Don't be afraid to lol out loud. If anybody else wants to see me do something in the game you've been playing since last December, you find it very hard to unlock G5. Yeah, there are stages that you will go through, and if you think it's hard to unlock G5, my friend, wait till you're trying to unlock G9. That takes an eternity. G5, did I find? I thought G6 actually was harder for me in main. G5, if you were, I don't know if you did or you're doing Seasonal Kingdom actually, Osama. Are you? No, yes, no. If you are, you'll find that you really, no, okay. If you were doing Seasonal Kingdom, I find you will level up very fast. You can increase your levels, guardsman levels, quicker because of what you're doing, but obviously it is at a cost. I know a few people actually who are in Seasonal Kingdom now who are spending way more time there than they're playing on their main game, and they are going to actually use their Seasonal Kingdom account as their main once this finishes. So I'd say they'll go right to the end, they'll go right down to the 87th day, and they'll end up with whatever level of guardsmen they have, and they'll use that for the rest of their time in the game. There's good incentive to do it, but you do need, you can't do it for nothing. You're going to have to do it. Some people are doing it on a budget. One of the friends, Lostras, very, very good friend of mine, both in the game and out of the game. She is literally doing this Seasonal Kingdom on a very tight budget. She's spending very, very little, and by very, very little I just mean the passes. And I think she is probably either has opened G8 at the last Ragnarok, or will certainly be opening it between now and the next Ragnarok. So yeah, that gives you a chance. G5, yeah. Try getting monsters before G5. Yeah, that's a fair point, Neve, actually. I just found it very hard to do that myself, though, to think that you are going to waste VP. I know, maybe that'll help me. Maybe that's something I should be doing now, actually, is opening M7. If I open M7, I'm probably going to pack a bit more of a punch and maybe get more VP per hit. I don't know if you've done that in Seasonal Kingdom, have you? But yeah, Osama, it is hard, but really it is down to epics. And that's why I say it's a little easier on Seasonal Kingdom. There's that glitch now. On Seasonal Kingdom, it is easier because there's epics running every day and sometimes twice a day. So yeah, it's easier in that. But stacking, my friend, stacking is very, very important. I have a couple of videos done on troop stacking for against epics. If you have a look at that, you will find that you may be able to improve your stacking. Also, obviously, on the Discord channel, if you're on there already, Osama, go and have a look at the troop calculator, and you can use that to great effect and get the correct hit, stacking maybe 2 levels of specialists and 2 levels of guardsmen alongside monsters. Excuse me. And you can certainly build up your VP there and your experience points, and then improve your captain's levels, and that all will help you basically push on to get G5. And once you get that down, it does roll on, but it is pretty, how would I say, It's specific to the point that you're at in the game. So you're only getting X amount of VP and XP until you unlock the next troop, and that obviously helps you along. Yes, good. The link for Discord not working. Please share a new one. It will, of course, yeah. I thought when I made the link for Discord, I made it that it wouldn't expire. But let me just pull it up now and give you a new one now. And where are we? Invite. Edit link. We want a no limit. Generate new link. Copy. Minimize. And Control V. There you go, my friend. There's the link to Discord server. Join that, and all the wonders of the world will be there for you. What else am I missing here? Try getting monsters. Yeah, so that the score's not working. That's sorted. People using new seasonal kingdom as main lose out in customization bonuses over time. I didn't know that, Johnny. That's an interesting one. And welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining the stream today. Which customization bonuses would you be talking about there, my friend? People using new seasonal kingdom as main lose out customization bonuses. Are you talking about maybe city customization, or I presume it couldn't affect the game customization, i.e. customization of maybe city, or I can't. Yeah, let me know. That's your frames and city skins. Bah. Yeah. Are they that important? As long as I'm not losing strength bonuses, health bonuses, the possibility of getting new captains, new artifacts, I think the frames I could let go. Is there anybody really spends time on the frames these days? What frame have I got on mine actually at the minute? Novice Blacksmith from the 38th season at Triumphal Challenge. Yeah, I really don't use them. As you can see, there's lots of them with locks still on them. Oh, mind you, this is seasonal. Yeah, I know in the main I don't really use them. They're okay. Anyway. And city skins. Your bonus is 280 strength. Very good. What kingdom are you in? I presume you're doing seasonal as well, my friend. They all stack permanently in seasonal kingdom. Oh yes, you're talking about the city skins that give you something. So yeah, basically what Johnny is speaking about there. I will accept that now. 1 second, my friend. Yeah, the city skins that Johnny is talking about are the ones you get at the end of Triumphal Challenge. So at the end you will get, where are the bloody things? Well, this one here, City of Gears. So each time you complete a Triumphal Challenge event, you get a new city skin. But the city skins aren't important to put. Are you saying that you don't actually get them? So in other words, in future, after you use your seasonal kingdom as your main account, that you can't get the city skins from Triumphal Challenge. Really? That surprises me. But yeah, as you can see, for anybody who's looking here, City of Gears. So this is the current Triumphal Challenge. After receiving it, you will be able to select it in the hero stats. That means you'll be able to actually put the skin on, and the city will look different than it did before. And it grants a permanent 5% bonus to army strength. The bonus remains if you change your city's appearance. Yeah, look, I have a good few, and I really don't use them. I generally just use the most recent one. But I think what you may mean is you can. Okay, so Neve says you can get them. Basically, you, I assume, still get them, but you're saying that the skins don't work on it. I don't know. I don't know if that's true because this is my first run at Seasonal Kingdom and I'm only going to use it as probably a silver alt when I'm done. Either that or a CP city, a second CP city, I'm not sure. And I always hit the cities with skins. Do you? Tut tut, Neve. Yeah, what's this here? Like, I think it means that you lose the ones you had already in your main. You have to start over. Okay. Right. Thanks for clearing that up. And Farron. Yeah, the Farrons are few and far between. I believe there's a lot of turmoil going on down in K220 at the minute with GTO clan. I think the kingdom has been fighting back a little bit, but there seems to be a lot of burning. Maybe not the kingdom, maybe it's probably one of the bigger clans outside. FOC or BAD or God or DOT aren't down that far, I know. But KWH maybe. But yeah, it looks like the whole kingdom is on fire down there at the minute. Has been for a while. We have one really irritating little bee that's just above K198 at the minute. The Iron Shadow, I think he calls himself. He's got like three accounts, 3 or 4 accounts. In fact, I think he's got 5 accounts because he has one small account in K198 and he's in K194, but he's pretty much burnt every clan in K194, including their forts and their capitals, and then he turned his ire on us and did similar. And he didn't come near me for some reason. I don't know why, even though I smacked him twice. Maybe he knows better. Anyway, I don't have much built in the clan at the minute, and there's very few members there, so it's probably no benefit for him to do that. But it'll be interesting to see if he does when I join the clan today, that are going to be lucky to have me give them a hand for the next 7 days. And we've made friends with KTO. Our forts hurt them. Oh yeah? Those city skin bonuses stack up very nicely over time. Yeah, they do for sure. They do. But it's kind of hard to... There's a question actually now that I have the two of you here. So tell me this and tell me no more. Do bonuses stack? I know if it says a bonus stacks, then we know it stacks. But there's many bonuses in the game, and somebody said it to me a few weeks ago, said that the bonuses don't stack if they don't say they stack. All that happens is it takes the higher bonus and it works from that. So let's say you had a bonus for, let's say there was, for example, 2 bonuses for attacking epics, a 200 bonus and a 360 bonus, that you don't end up with a 600 bonus. You only end up with the higher of the 2 bonuses. Can anyone confirm that for me or deny it? Can't remember who said it to me now, but I was a bit surprised, and it's kind of hard to work it out anyway, because it's very hard to pull the bonuses off if they're automatically there. And Johnny, next time you're on main, click hero and click stats. It gives you customization bonuses. Ah, right, okay, good, I can see them in there. Do you participate on CP runs? Yes. Oh yeah, there's stream elements. Can everybody see that? I think I can change that actually, can I? No, don't bother clicking on that stream elements tab. Can I get rid of that actually? Hide user in this channel. There we go. Hidden. Good. Yes, now back to what you asked me to do and add you as a friend. Yeah, go in here. Let me just do this while I'm at it. And done. And 3, 2, 1. We're back in the room. Yeah, CP runs are good. CP runs are important. CP runs will give you a nice boost for your army modernization section, which is really important for you to grow in the game and get stronger. The stronger you are, the better hits, the more XP, the more VP, the more CP. What to do now? I might just delete some of these. The boring part of the game. All we need, total battle. Total battle. Hi. It's Kerf here. I play your game. Could you please put a button just to the right of the revive or to the left of the figure to revive that says delete all? Thank you so much. Because it saves me having to click, delete, click, delete, click, delete, etc., etc., etc. Oh yes, and try doing this when you've just done 12 to 14 attacks on Rise of Ancients event. I did have a macro for this somewhere, but I changed my PC and alas, I lost it. Might do another one. Why is it? Oh yeah, these were a separate attack. Wearing my finger down to the nub. Just because Total Battle can't do something simple. I know why you don't do it, because you think by doing it this way, I might click the wrong thing, and instead of clicking the X, I might click revive and waste gold, because that would be good for you guys. Not you guys on my channel, for Total Battle. Grr. Anywho. I have added you, my friend. I see you changed your name. Last time you were Bruno. Now you use your correct name. Welcome, sir. Has anybody used the fort for CP runs? No, actually. Not to my knowledge. I don't think it would work as well, because bear in mind you're going to have your consulate, which is going to give you a bonus for your strength slash health in attack in defense, isn't it? What are we on here, Portal Master? Where is my consulate actually here? Is that it there? Nope. There it is. So yeah, this obviously will give you strength and health and reinforcements. I don't think you can get that from a fort though, Neve, can you? So I don't think that would work, but maybe it's worth thinking about. We have I think most clans here have a huge account to use for CP. I know it used to be a case that smaller clans would use a smaller, or people used to use smaller cities back when we used to do it and we started doing it. But I think that consulate bonus definitely makes a massive difference. How to do CP runs. Yeah, I will do one on that. There's a couple of different ways. The old style way that we used to do for 1v1 CP is I would train 500,000 ranged G8s and I would attack somebody with 20 or 25,000 Corax 2 and I'd use Guan Yu and I would get first hit in and kill all their Corax in one go. But when I moved to Hype, they had a slightly different way of doing it, and they used all of their troops. Now, for me, it didn't work out cheaper. In fact, it worked out more expensive because you ended up with a lot of casualties and you kept having to build troops. However, you were able to hit much higher levels of Corax, and as such, you got like more than double the CP, the conquest points from that. So there are, as I say, two ways of doing it. If you're a low-level, smaller player, then you probably are better off going on a 1v1 and using one troop type to attack one troop type, as opposed to using all your army, because you may not have the silver to be able to warrant building troops over and over and over again. And obviously you can only hold a certain amount of troops in your city. A little bit like Seasonal Kingdom. I think I'm training now for 7 to 8 runs at a time, whereas in my main I can train to I think it's 14 or 15 runs concurrently. They give an extra defense bonus if they are fully researched of 250. Interesting. Not that I ever need to do CP again, but that is an interesting one. I might pass that on to a friend of mine actually, and see if he might do it. Might make a note of that. Talk amongst yourselves, as you have been doing. And when I find out if that works or if it makes a massive difference, I'll certainly pass that detail on to you and stick it in the channel. So forts for CP runs. Plus 250% for level 25 fort. Maybe you'll try it yourself, Neve, before I get to do it, or before my friends get to do it, and then you can let us know if you saw a big difference. Did it work? Did it not work? Where else are we? Is it Romeo Curfinator? Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? Now that the fort's on fire. Oh yeah, well that's a point actually. So you'd have to. So you would have to repair the fort. Can you repair a fort if it's just been attacked? So no, you wouldn't get the 250%. Fort's on fire. Yeah, definitely worth checking. If you get a chance, give it a go. If you don't get a chance, I'll say it to one of the guys in one of the old clans of mine, and we might see if they can do a test on it and see if it works or not. A lot of clans use a silver bank forts account for the fort. A lot of clans use a silver bank forts account for the fort. Don't quite get what you're saying there. I know what we do is we have we're all shielded, just going back to Legru there. So if your whole clan wanted to do a CP run, you need to, it's preferable for your clan to also have a CP city. And what you can do in that case is, let's say, for example, you are the one, well, I see you'd have to be unshielded. But yeah, basically the person who's doing the CP run has to be unshielded. Now, let's just say you didn't have a CP city in your clan. That means that the person who is making the run, making the march, CP march, would need to be unshielded, i.e. have no shield, because all the players that are sending reinforcements to you to send on the clan march can't send them if you have a shield up. But if you have a CP city, then you included could keep your shield and you all send your troops to that CP city, and the CP city is the one that does the march. And the way that would work simply is that you would just use either one hero or one captain and one troop, and it would be the one that marches against the CP giver, for want of another word, provider. So that way then everybody in your clan could keep their shields, but they're still going to get the benefit of the conquest points. Nobody has to lose a shield except your CP city, and the CP city won't matter. You could have a tiny city. You could just use something that's maybe level 5 or level 10. So yeah, that's just another point there as regards to CP runs. But I can put that in the video if and when I do it. So you don't use the fort for bonuses. Silver clans only need silver production on. Oh yeah, okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, definitely worth seeing if it works all right. So, how are we doing now? Oh, I suppose I'll go back. No, yeah, well, I'm done here at this, so I can go back to my main and see if I was found by that incoming attacker. Give me a second and I will just go back here and drop out of the window so as I can just switch accounts. I probably burn now, but sure, hey, that's what happens during Clash for the Throne. Ah, yes, it was an old friend of mine. Did I not message him before? Sorry, I'm just replying to somebody here. Aye. Yeah, okay. And 3, 2, 1, we're back in the room. Yes, I had a little visit from... Oh, I have a fly. I have a fly in. That's what happens when you open the window. Okay, hold on a second. I have got to get rid of this fly. I hate flies, but they're so prevalent at this time of the year. Okay, I'm going to go kill a fly. And so as you don't hear him squishing, I'm going to turn off the mic. Death to all flies, I tell you. Okay, I'll just have to bear it out because I now can't find him. Damn it. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Now what's happened? I should be here, but I'm not. What did I change? Oh, that's above it, so that should be showing me now. Ah, yes. Now I know. Oh, there we go. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Yes, these are... Okay, what else to be doing? Yeah, I had a visitor. I don't have any silver, so let us just get enough silver to be able to bring these troops back. And let's do the free sale. Get those. And now I will... What else will I do? I suppose I'll do a few more crypts before I move. So yeah, formats for streams is important. I'm trying to get it so as people can pop on and ask questions and make suggestions for what they'd like to see me do, ask questions about the game, etc., etc. And yeah, I suppose it just can't tick along. It's not an action game, as I was saying earlier on. It's not like playing... Give me an example. It's not like playing Doom or Diablo or something like that. It's really quite a boring game to watch sometimes, unless you're doing something that is of major interest to another person, which a lot of the stuff that you do around here isn't. It's button clicking, really. So anybody else who has joined the channel and you'd like to say hello, please reach out and do so. The chat channel is there for you. Why can't I just click on that? There we go. And if you would like, if you would like to join the Discord server, by all means, please do. There's a link there. I'll copy it. Pin. Oh, I can pin it actually. Can I copy it as well? No. Yeah, anyway. Yes, by all means, don't be afraid to say hello. I did give a bit of a shout out to a company yesterday, and they have just made a total mess of my stream today. No, my last stream. So I was using a company's music called Epidemic Sound, and I got to use it because it gives you royalty-free, copyright-free music to be able to use on streams. And I had done that on my last stream, on streams and videos. Done that in my last stream and gave them a big shout out, said it was such a great platform to use and the music on it was very good. And lo and behold, after my stream, I noticed that there was 22 copyright claims on my stream for music that I'd used within that stream. And I had to contact them by email, and as of 3 days ago, they still haven't replied to my email. Their customer support seems to be total dross, maybe as bad as Total Battle's customer support. But yeah, I'm still waiting for an apology and a release of the copyright claims against the service that I am paying them for to use, but they're blocking me. So it's a bit farcical. So today, Epidemic Sound, you get a big nil point. So yeah, there's my bitch for today. Hopefully I'll have nothing else to bitch about. Hopefully they'll reply to me. Actually, maybe they have done. No, I wouldn't think they've replied to me already. I would have got a notification, and I didn't get any notifications. So Epidemic Sound, please get your finger out, get back to me and fix the copyright problem. Why am I paying for your service when you're blocking it and telling me I have copyright claims against the music that you have on your platform? The end. Anybody else on the channel, please pop in and say hello. Just running some crypts here in Total Battle. Just normal crypts because I have a lot of tar to burn. It's the one thing that you do get a lot of throughout the game as you grow in size. I'm not short of a bit of tar. I've got 223 million currently. And my tar burn is about, what is my tar burn actually? 22,000? 17.6 thousand per crypt. Actually, I must level this up a little bit more. Oh yeah, of course I have to wait for that. No, I can't. No, I can't. Yeah. Anyway. Yes, me again. You can't send me a message on Discord. Why can't you send me a message on Discord? I already added you as a friend. Well, I did add you as a friend there. Hang on. If friend request sent. Oh. Did you remove this friend request? No. I sent you a friend request as well. Osama, maybe just have a look again and see. I'm going to send you a message on there. Test. Sent. See if you get a message there in your inbox. And we might be able to speak. Talk more about the Zeus artifact. I think it takes out the need for stacking somewhat. Yeah, not something I have really spent a lot of time with at all. In fact, I don't even know if I leveled it. I did level it up because I got some artifact pieces for it. Dominance, leadership, authority, chance to do double damage. I don't know that you can get it high enough. I mean, already I've only got it up to like 9%, well 8.7%, and already it's asking me to upgrade to level 3, star level 3. So I can't imagine it's going to go much above 20%. And I don't really 20%, an extra 20% to dominance and leadership. I can't see it making a massive difference, to be quite honest with you. So no, there's no point in me giving you a there's no point in me giving you a history test, a history lesson on it, because I haven't used it. It's simple as that. Again, we'd probably have to run several attacks using it different ways to see if it works okay. So yeah, I don't know. Jury's out for me. Zeus artifact. I just don't think it's big enough, or it's going to give a big enough boost. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe others have used it and have found it gives a good boost. Maybe Neve there. Okay, where are we going here? Me again. I can't see your message on Discord. You should have got that last message anyway. Like to learn from you. Yeah, of course, Usama. 10-minute wait time. It's the double damage part. Well, yeah, that's fair enough. It certainly would give you a boost in that regard. I mean, there is a double damage option already built into the game from 3 of Guardsmen, I think it is. Chance to do double damage, monsters to do double damage. So, yeah, but again, at 2%, so call that 2, 4%, 5%. I can see it again do much more than 5% if you're even getting it up to 5-star. The double damage won't increase unless, of course, you can do it this way and increase that. But you can see I've got that to purple. Chance to deal. Sorry, that's the leadership. So as you see, yeah, I've got an orange one of that, and the chance to deal double damage is only increased by 1.5%. So I'd say it's probably similar to the double damage options in the game that you can get through your academy. If I remember rightly, was that with the boost in academy? Where was the double damage option? I think it's just on the normal army mod section, isn't it? No, it's not in here. Where was the chance? Oh, it's in talent points. Talent points, battle tactics, expert battle tactics maybe. Chance for guardsmen to do double damage. Yeah, and so that's only given 1%. So I would say it's probably no more than 5%. Hey, look, when I've got lots of artifact points and keys, I might do it, which reminds me, actually, while I'm here, I do want to do something else. Ragnarok. And I want to just pull out some more experience points because I forgot to take them last time. These experience points, by the way, are going to be very useful when it comes to the season's legacy. Clan I don't need yet because I'm not in a clan. There's none in Fenrir, right? No. I was going to use that for... I could take a few keys as well. What have we got? 8, yeah. Sorry, I'm rambling here a bit. Just thought of doing that while I'm there. Yeah, so the experience points are going to be very useful to you when the seasonal kingdom legacy event starts after seasonal kingdom finishes. You're going to need all the XP you can, so save it up and collect it now from your Ragnarok store. Don't forget, be there or be square. What are we saying here? This is me on Discord. Okay, Osama, I will reach out to you on Discord and we'll have a chat. Okay, my friend? Double damage part. I have Zeus level 50. I think it makes stacking less important. I can't see how stacking would ever be less important. Good for ring extra stacks on CP runs and attacks. Yeah, extra stacks, exactly. It's basically just going to give you a bonus, a benefit of, instead of having to select Thaddeus to give you an extra 25% in your leadership, or if you had him plus the Zeus artifact. But why would you want to use the Zeus artifact over Ifrit Lord's belt, the Forest Crown, and the Heart of the Forest? They're all going to give you what you want in attack against Epic's strength. For me, the Zeus artifact is going to give you so little of a benefit to drop one of those out, unless you didn't have obviously one of those, and then you could use Zeus's artifact. So yeah, I guess that's the only time I'd use it, because I can't see a dropping 144% strength over bringing an extra 1,000 troops, 400 troops per unit into battle. Sorry, not for me. Somebody will probably tell me, yeah, I've done it, and it beats the fact of having Thaddeus and having to use those. I just can't see it myself. It's all about strength when we're hitting epics, as we all know, as most people know. We're not all geniuses on here, so we'll take it for other people who are in the room who are lower might, lower level. And by the way, thanks very much to the guys who are chatting today. It is really good to have some more similar-minded or similar-sized experienced players in the game to be giving their side of things. There's no point in it just being me all the time. As much as it's I ramble on from time to time, and I might miss a point, and it's good for people on the chat to bring it back down to what might have been spoken about. And for those of you who are here, i.e. Neve and Johnny Appleseed, thanks guys for coming on to the chat today. Much appreciated. Your input is valuable as anybody's is who is giving advice and help to other players in the game, which is what this is all about. Okay, Usama, yeah, definitely I'll hit you up, don't worry. I'll get back to you after the stream. Okay, brother? Epic armor already gives you 2%. Yep, true. And double damage is in talents. Yeah, I found it. Thanks, Neve. And if you boost the artifact, you are not using a strength boost one. Yeah, that was exactly my point just made. Thanks, Legru, for just backing that point up. Zeus and Ifrit belt and the mythic heart. Yeah, but then don't forget about the Forest Crown, because if you have that, that's given a massive boost. I currently have that on Herc. And he is getting, no, sorry, not Herc. I have it on Cleo. That's the good thing about these, just to reiterate, I said it earlier on, it's nice to be able to level these up to the max level without having to have had stars added to it, whereas they're being held back on the other artifacts that you get. So as you can see, the strength and health value for this crown without starring it is at an extra 155%, which is massive. So yeah, I go back to Legru's point. There's no point in taking that Forest Crown out and replacing it with the Zeus artifact. It just doesn't stack up for me. Sorry. What else? Epic Armor, Zeus, Ifrit Belt, and Mythic Heart. 15 Epic Armor plus Zeus gives you a 30% chance of double damage. Yeah. I'll try it. I'll try it sometime. When I have the artifacts, I will improve Zeus's belt and I'll give it a run. I must ask, I'm 99% sure that the guys in Hype, the clan I've just come from and will return to one day soon, I don't think anybody in there is using it because or has done it, has improved it to that point. Because if they had, I guarantee you, we would have got it in a memo and would have been told to all make sure we improve it, because we're all about epic kills there. That's what that clan is going to drive through and thrive on, as will all large clans. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear anybody else, if somebody comes on the channel or for that matter watches this video stream afterwards as just a normal video and can listen to me waffle on for hours. I'll take anybody else's opinion on board. If you have tried and used that Zeus artifact, please let me know. Reach out, leave me a message, send me your findings, and it'll be very interesting to see. Anything that benefits other players and gives people an idea or a plan to try, that's something new, something different that might work, definitely worth trying. And Johnny, at some point though, the double damage with trump strength will trump strength. Yeah, fair point. Like I say, if somebody's done it, brilliant. It was also very loud. What was very loud, Sully? I know it's not the background music. I don't think that's too loud. This is all indie rock today. I shouldn't tap on the mic actually because it probably leaves feedback. Will trump strength. Yeah, got that, Johnny. Come on, Sully. What was very loud? Please tell me. Did I do something wrong? Anyway, back to crypts. The only issue with Crown is it is really built for PvP, not epics. Yeah. But is it not giving a strength bonus also? It's a strength bonus to both. It's a strength bonus in general, but it's also a strength bonus to strength and health bonus. Yeah, so it's your general strength and health. I would wonder, is it split? So is it plus 155% to strength and plus 155 to health? Or is it 72.5 to each? No, 77.5 to each. I would say it's both. I get the second part of it that you're saying. So it's strength and health against other players. So you could use it in CP runs. You could use it if you're attacking other players. You could use it, Clash of the Throne, Kingdom versus Kingdom. But also there is that 155 just general strength. So if that's health and strength at 155, it still doesn't outweigh the benefit of it versus Zeus's. Not for me anyway. I have to keep an eye. This is another little outlaw we have in the kingdom at the minute. I see he switched to Ulrich, so he must be planning something. He was burning this morning. And to get Crown maxed is very hard in Scam Seasonal Kingdom. Yep. Johnny, hold that thought and please join me when I go and talk about the good, the bad and the ugly of the game that is Total Battle. It's not about things that players do, it's things about that Total Battle could improve on. I'd love to get a video out where we all just get a rant. If anybody is going to, I'm going to try and do it on a stream. I was going to make it just a video, but it would be very hard to get other people's interactions on it. I'd much rather do it on a live stream, and we can pretty much just set at them from the offset, because and they're not going to listen anyway. Hey, we know what they're like at this stage. It's a business. I get that. Businesses are businesses. They're in the business of doing business, and it's all about business. But as I made a video before, I made a suggestion to have a players council, and that we could have somebody who would go and talk directly to the developers and give our honest opinions on things that need fixing. But I don't think it'll matter, because when you've got guys in the game like Riffer, who must have a gazillion Seasonal Kingdom accounts, a gazillion main accounts. His main account, I think the other day I saw him, he's gone like to 3.2 billion. That guy is just, I'd say he probably has shares in Total Battle at this stage, because the amount of money he spends is just, I just ask myself, where does it all end? Like, what does he do? Why does he get out of the bed in the morning and go, I think I'll give Total Battle some more money, buy another 50 Merc packs at the top price of $249. Oh, I don't know. Some people have more money than sense. I could think if I had that much money, I actually wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be playing this game. I'm convinced of it. But anyway, yeah, that is definitely for a stream, and I will try and get as many of you, big and small players, together for that stream, because I really want some feedback, constructive criticism and feedback for Total Battle. And if I can get the video in front of them, maybe they'll look and listen, and maybe they might do something about it, maybe they won't. But hey, probably banging my head against a brick wall would be easier, at least to get something out of that. Blood, brain tissue. Ew, did I say that? Yeah, Rifu is dollars for sure. Riffer, sorry, yeah. Riffer, did I say Rifu? No, it's definitely Riffer. Yeah, I think I said Riffer. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he's just, I don't know. I don't get that spend on a game. That's, where does it end? If they didn't have players like him tomorrow, I'm for sure this thing would close down, or they would have to make it in such a way that it just costs less to play. You know, it's pay to play. I don't care what anyone else says. I've seen it. I've seen all the comments on Facebook. Actually, that'll be for another video. I've been pulling some Facebook comments off a couple of the Facebook channels that are out there, and I'm going to do a video on that, because there's many things are said there incorrectly. I see things said incorrectly on other videos by other YouTube players, and yeah, I'll try and pull a few comments and discuss them and try and help players out who are asking questions and aren't getting the answers. For example, there's players who've got to the stage where they're now anonymously asking questions in the groups, because they're afraid of the gazillion laughy faces that they get from other people who think they know it all, or maybe do know it all, instead of helping them and answering the questions. No question is too stupid in this game, because we were all at a stage, I don't care what anyone thinks, we were all at a stage where we started the game and went, okay, you might get the math of it and understand the attacking and how it works, but there's other things that you may not know about. So like I say, no question is a stupid question in my eyes. Not for this channel. Okay, sure. You want my opinion on it? And funny, I was just thinking about this yesterday. Obviously, I use Ulrich in Seasonal Kingdom. The reason I use Ulrich in Seasonal Kingdom is he was the hero. You got an option to buy a hero at the very start. So he was a no-brainer for me, because I enjoy Kingdom versus Kingdom in Seasonal Kingdom. And just on that note, I think that Total Battle would definitely gain something from having that same format be usable in the main account. I think it would get a lot more people playing it, because it's simplified and you can attack and steal a shield from a city. Steal a banner from a city that's shielded. So you could, as a player, get your event points by not actually losing troops. I think it's a great way. I don't see why they can't add that to main. You can still do it and attack other cities and still get CP points, but I do think it's a good idea for smaller players to be able to gain that bit of CP that they're not being able to gain anywhere else in that format of KVK. But back to your question. So I was considering changing or getting either Thaddeus or Meriones. For me, given the fact, if you get, I think a lot depends on the a lot depends on the armor that you have got. If you've got up to G8 or G7 and you've kept that armor in Seasonal Kingdom and you put that set of armor onto your hero, that's 6 pieces, and you then add the 1.5 times increase on that, then Meriones is, for me, the hero to go with. But then you are limited to only the hero events, epic events in Seasonal Kingdom. The leadership, on the other hand, obviously would give you a bigger hit for all your captains plus your hero. So a pro and con, I think a lot depends on the armor you have kept in Seasonal Kingdom. Sorry, I'm just talking about Seasonal Kingdom, even though you didn't ask about Seasonal Kingdom. I suppose for outside of Seasonal Kingdom in main, I think it still would be Meriones for me. If I had a full set of gold epic armor, then like that adds on 1.5%. I think that negates the extra stacks that you could bring by having Thaddeus. But I haven't tried it. I haven't compared it. I might do it actually, because I'm pretty sure I have both in main. I did open them both at one stage. Yep, I have both. So yeah, I'll try that actually. I might try it. I might do it in a short video if I can get it together, and I'll try it with just silver troops, just to give a kind of a general idea. But for me, for me in Seasonal Kingdom, I think Meriones would be worthwhile if, as I say, you have kept the Seasonal Kingdom armor there, rather than Thaddeus. And then outside of that, again, I think it's a try both and see which gives you the better hit, and then make a decision on that. But that's my opinion on it. You lean Thaddeus due to the captains for all epics. Yeah, I mean, that is a fair point. That's a fair point. And it is down to the fact of there only being a small number of epics in the game that are hero specific. So therefore your bulk equipment that's the same only works then for your Shadow City, Armageddon, and Briareus. They're the 3. Is there another one? I think it's just 3. Obviously the Briareus one would be handy, maybe better to use then. But you look at, if you're at a stage where you're kind of considering one or the other one, why not get both, and then you have that option. But yeah, I'll write that down actually. So let's do a comparison of Thaddeus versus Meriones. With the same armor on both, and yeah, it'll be an interesting one. Anyone else wants to do it, you work ahead and let me know. Sully, thanks for coming back. Briareus is no hero. Which would there is one. Oh, Briareus is the 3 captains. Yeah. Gotcha. didn't do Olympus last event because I wasn't in a clan. Well, I did actually. I did the lava mountain creation of that. Has been very helpful to getting enchantments, by the way. Anybody who isn't of the level that some of us here are, if you're doing Trials of Olympus, try and get as much tar as you can for the lava fountains, for the lava fountain mines that you will get afterwards, which work like crypts, because they give you enchantments, and enchantments in this game, specifically in a couple of fields, one being the crypting one, that you can get the enchantment for crypting. Let me just show you that just very quickly. Forge or workshop and combine. So the ones that are really going to be important to low level players are your food. That will be important, but other than that, you want to be pushing everything you can into the crypting end of things. So if you can get the Pioneer enchantment, okay, that will help you no end from crypt exploration efficiency. And as I just said, if you're doing the Olympus Trials of Olympus event and the Lava Fountain event, when you do the lava crypts and you get the enchantments from them, which were so hard to get in the game, the only other way to get enchantments, I think they were splattered across a few areas, but the main way to get enchantments was from doing daily jobs tasks. But now that you can get them in the Olympus event, that makes a massive, massive difference. And yeah, okay, so I was wrong on the Briareus. Yeah, it's 3 captains, and Chimera at the start is just 1 captain, right? The music, thanks Sully for getting back to me. It was also very loud. Yeah, okay, so I think I have the volume level right. It's just there that when I'm not speaking, there's something nice in the background. It's better than just looking at a green screen or black screen or somebody attacking me. And thanks very much. Thank you for joining us on the stream today. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you joined here and have input in the chat. The more these streams go on, I know more people will get involved, and it'll get to a stage where I'm going to find it very hard to see what's going on in the chat. But for now, I have a setup on my screen that gives me a nice... I basically have one of my screens in portrait mode as opposed to landscape. So I can have a big scroll of all the chat run down inside the channel. So thanks to everyone who has taken part today and said something in the chat. I really appreciate that, and it helps the channel look like there's something actually happening in it, as opposed to just one mad Irish fucker talking rubbish all day about a game that he's spent 4.5 years playing, and he's still here. So yeah, and excuse my French. Unfortunately, that's something that the Irish are also very good at. We're good at drinking, and we're good at swearing. I'll do one channel. I'll do one day of no swearing. How about that? It just slips off the tongue too easily. Sorry about that. Another fun stat, Helen's 6th star to 7th star adds about 1.2 to 1.4 million in production. Really? That's good. How have I got Helen actually on here? I can't remember the last time I upgraded her. 6 to 7. Right, okay, that's good. What do I need? 1.6. I'm a long way off getting her up. But yeah, that is a fair boost, isn't it? But again, like Johnny, it's probably another thing. This is like a first world problem for the larger players. It gets to a stage where you don't really need to worry about it. You do from the food production speed for sure. But when it comes to troop training speed, that really makes no difference because we've got gazillion speed ups. So it really doesn't become a problem. And obviously leveling her up, I've got her over 300 now. I don't know, I might push her on and do it at some stage. Yeah, good point though. Yeah, it is the truth. Whoa, actually, it depends on what you're saying. Ha ha ha. I don't know whether you're talking about us swearing or us drinking or Helen. What was I going to say there? Yeah, so yeah, look, Helen is important. There's just so many important captains in the game, and they become more important as you progress through that game. Where small players don't need to worry about Helen at the start. It's more about Carter. There comes points in the game, and it's hard to remember them sometimes, you know, at what stage in the game they were important. I'll try and compile that in a video at some stage. I know I did a video regarding Carter on the channel. Again, not important to you big guys, but it sure as hell is important to all of the smaller players. And Seasonal Kingdom, again, just reiterated what I've been constantly banging on about on the channel for so often, is get your Carter leveled up, get him stronger. The better he is. If you didn't do anything in the game from the start, but concentrated solely on Carter, and you got him up to 100, level 100 or whatever, early on in the game, he really will stand you in good stead as you continue to progress him throughout the game. Use him to attack epics. The bigger he gets, again, you'll be able to carry more troops, and in turn he will level up more and more and more and more, right down to using him. Again, in the video I did, a lot of people knocked the video, but again, players that were knocking the video were ones, in my opinion, who have already done it, who have got to a certain stage where it's not important to get VP, Valor points and XP points, and they have better ways of doing it. But when you're early on in the game, if you can afford to buy mercenary packs and you get the highest merc that's available in your section, and you get a few of them and use them with your low level captains and use them to level up by attacking things to be lossless, so you're not losing any of the mercenaries at a time. It's little things like that to just get you a kick on in the game and get to the next level, so as you're big enough then to be able to bring more army, more stacks in attacks, and then basically it rolls on from there. I know it's easy said when you've already done it, but it's the repetition of the game. You know, it's the repetition of not attacking common elf squads level 2, level 4, level 5. It's attacking monsters on the screen of a higher level using mercenaries to kind of boost you up there. I get the same problems. Right, sorry, I just had somebody back to me there with regard to the initial message that I had on the start of the channel. For anybody, I know you all... Does he boost? I'll get back to you on that, Johnny, in 1 second. I just finished this. Anybody who's using the troop calculator, I did something at the start of this video, and I'll just touch on it very briefly again if I can pull it back in again. Give me 1 second, and I see. I thought I might have closed it. Open that back up, and let's get that window capture. Okay, so just very briefly, if you haven't used this troop calculator, that's fine. If you have another one, this may not be applicable to yourself, Neve. I'm sure you use one of the ones that I would use, which will give you a kind of a more rounded possibility. On the troop calculator, I've had a couple of players message me and tell me two things. One is that the amount of mercenaries that the game calculates is far in excess of what it should be, and that is the case. So I have just reached out to the guy who did this. Yeah, he's actually messaging me on Discord at the minute, sorry. I'm just going to have a look at it and see. There's either a glitch in the version that has been downloaded, or which maybe the one that I shared, or maybe from another one. But the mercenaries figures that you put in, that come in here with your leadership, are way too high. So you need to make a slight adjustment on them. The monsters are okay, they're perfect, but also somebody was saying that if you select some of the mercenaries, they don't include in the sheet, as you can see there. So there's the Superior Epic Monster Hunter 2. No number comes into the chart, so I think that the values need to be filled in manually, but I'm working on getting a solution and an answer for that. So for anybody who has used the troop calculator and has seen these little glitches, just bear with me and we'll get this sorted. as a rule of thumb, I would work on a low amount of mercenaries. You always want your mercenaries to be the last ones to die in a stacked attack. So if you keep your numbers low, it will basically let them get hit again and again and again. Okay. So I'll make a video on this once I have it done, rather than try and squeeze it into the middle of a live stream. So yeah, hopefully that will help you, anybody who had a problem with that. So just back to this, many people ignore Bran. Yeah, for good reason, in my opinion. Your thoughts on Bran? He does boost walls. Yeah. Okay, not Helen. Yeah, okay, Niamh, you're with me. Good. I won't go back on that again. Like I say, I'll try and curb it just a little bit. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, on Bran, right? My opinion on Bran. At the start of the game, I used to be in a clan in K74 or 70. No, it was 74. And there was a guy there in the clan I was in. It was Valhalla, actually, the original Valhalla. There was a guy in there who used both Matt Mahane and Bran, and he basically pushed on siege engines from the start. He used them for everything, and I doubted the reason for it. I tried it myself for a while, and whilst you can attack with them, and they're a little bit, in one regard, they are a little bit like flying units. For example, griffins and Koraks. There are monsters on the map that you can attack that don't give bonuses against flying units, and likewise there are monsters on the map that don't give bonuses, except elves, that don't give bonuses against siege engines. So you could use them to attack. But for me, the cost of siege engines, the speed of siege engines, and the amount of food that siege engines use versus normal troops, it didn't make sense for me to continue to use them. I know that they give a boost to your walls, but I think you'll agree with me, Johnny, that it gets to a certain stage in the game that it doesn't matter whether your walls are 3 million might in strength or 300 million might in strength. With the G9 players and G9, S9, M9 troops, all you're doing is damaging some of their troops. They're going to get over your walls. So really, I didn't see a point of it. It also uses way too much VP that you could be spending on your flying squads or your ranged units or your mounted units, and bringing them all on instead of siege engines. So very much for me, if I could go back in time, I would 100% not bother spending 1 centilla of VP on walls, 1 centilla of VP on siege engines, except what you have to do to move on troop levels or on the talent points tree. I just wouldn't. I know I have them all maxed out now, but that's because you should look at what I mean now. I mean, I'm sitting here with 467 trillion VP that I may never ever use unless they decide to bring out T10. So yeah, for me, I just wouldn't waste my time with Bran. I wouldn't waste my time with the Matt Mahane, or whatever way you pronounce his name. I think they're a waste of time. I think the VP that you spend on walls and siege engines is also a waste of time. I get that you do have to get over walls if somebody else has them and you're low level, but I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. I'm sure somebody disagree with me. Maybe use them up to a certain point. Maybe when you get to E3 or E4 and maybe no more than that. I mean, I don't even use them on citadels now. I know other people may have to use some on citadels because you do need to take the walls down. But as we know, with the channels, a couple of channels out there that pertain to citadels, i.e. Wolf's Citadels, Wolf's-Citadels, for anybody interested in looking at that channel. And there's another one as well. I think it's a Polish one. I can't pronounce it, but so there's two channels that I'm aware of out there, and the guys on there are just a mine of information, and like that they will help you to work out how to attack a citadel and have no losses. Even in some of those attack reports, there isn't any siege engines used, so really I can't see where else you'd use them in the game. Honestly, can't see where you'd use them in the game. And I would generally always tell players to not bother, you know, even coming down to gems, like let's say the gems that you get in the game. If you go into your workshop and combine the gems, the first gems that I would always be deleting are all the siege engine ones. I didn't even bother going all the way across here. I'll delete them and use them to maybe get more of the strength gems. So yeah, that's just my opinion. That's what I'd say on the Bran situation. Helen is only available through Triumphal Challenge 2. That's correct. Carter maxes out at 300. Yes, Carter does max out at 300, and even though you can level him up beyond that, he doesn't get any better. He doesn't do any better as regards your crypt exploration efficiency, so he's not going to improve the cost for exploring crypts, and he's not going to get any further gear out of the crypt. Any further not gear, any further enchantments out of the crypt than, or gems for that matter, than whether he's 300 or 400. So yeah, I did know about that. I don't think I mentioned it before. Free Soul, thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying. I hope it is something. Thanks, Johnny. Look, like I say, that's just my opinion on him. I think it's a waste of VP. Hall of Fame. Very good, Free Soul. Hall of Fame. Yeah. What do I think of Hall of Fame? I'll tell you what I think. I think I can't remember where it is. Let me go into it here. Hall of Fame. It's not something I've spent a lot of time on. If it's told me that I have Hall of Fame points to use and I've leveled up a captain, yes, I've gone in and used it. It's really not something I have done a lot on. I haven't pushed up captains too much. I suppose it was, for me, it was a little bit confusing trying to work out. So it's saying it's locked at the minute to level 330 epic, legendary or mythic captains of this faction needed 2. So that means I need 2 captains that are level 330, I assume. So in other words, I would have to level Dustan up to get to 330. Then I would have him and Cleo of 330, and I would then be able to open and push the next section. So yeah, look, it's something that I have just fallen through as I've gone on. I haven't done anything more in it. It sure does give a valid and very useful extra bonus for sure. Army health against other players, dominance. So yeah, it certainly seems to be beneficial to level up. At a lower level, I think it is important, and you should keep an eye on this. So this is one of the things that's definitely something actually I'll do a video on. But just to touch on it very briefly to anybody who's here now and listening, that hasn't done it. To get the benefit out of this and gain the bonuses that it gives in the game to your captains, your army, etc., etc., try and always bring extra captains up levels when you are fighting epics. For example, Arachne Squad. The only benefit really from the Arachne Squad is the fact that you can send 3 captains at a time. And obviously Briareus, as has been mentioned earlier in the video, you can bring 3 captains on that trip. What I would suggest, and most people I think would agree with me, is to bring 2 of your strongest fighting captains. If you have Hercules or Cleo, bring both of those, and then maybe add in either a Manitor who will be beneficial to you as you go on in the game, or take somebody like Captain A-Day, or Beowulf or Skadi. So two good fighting captains, and then add in one of your other lower level captains, just simply so as they level up and they help you progress through this Hall of Fame area. They're all different. So this is tenacity, this is courage, and this is resolve. Each of them give different bonuses in different areas of the game. I will do a full video on it, but just go in there and have a look and see what bonuses they give to what aspect of the game, and work on those ones and try and bring those levels up. Earlier on in the game, for example, it would be beneficial to work on your construction and your research speed. So any of the captains in here, each time you level them up, in other words, they get to, well, whatever level it says here that they need to be. So that you want 2 at 330. Just be careful of one thing, actually. And I know they've done this again purposely. So you can see that the main captains in the game, Cleopatra being one. I'm just speaking of the fighting captains. Hercules being another. If I didn't have Hercules, actually, that would revert back to Logos. Or Wu Zetian, or Ingrid for that matter. And then the final one, you have Adain and Amanitor. So those captains are going to be the ones that you're going to push the levels up on. And by pushing the levels up, it means that this is probably going to make you always try and get another captain up to that level to be able to upgrade to the next section. I hope I'm saying that right, Johnny, actually. So in other words, let's say my captain A-Day or any of these other captains that are here were down at level 200, and I had this Captain Amanitor up at 330. That means I'm going to have to get the second captain all the way up to level 330 to match her for me to get the next bonuses out in the game. I think that's the way it is. But as I say, it is an important aspect of the game to give these bonuses. So if you haven't checked out Hall of Fame, or you're wondering what's about, I will do a video on it. Might get a little bit of help because I might have a few questions from a few other players, and I'll do a video on that and try and give you an idea of what that works, what way it works. So that's just a quick touch on Hall of Fame. Yeah, I can imagine it does all right. Level 405. Logos doesn't help. Rare captains don't help. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so look, it's a good point. I'll make a wee note of that, and I'll have a little sip of my alcohol-free water. Irish water. Five to 5. It's nearly beer o'clock. Or glass of wine. Might have a glass of wine tonight. Nice glass of red, perhaps. What was I saying here? Hall of Fame. A-Day's only rare. Right, okay. See, honestly, the Hall of Fame video that I do, I think I'll only touch on small aspects of it, because we want to try and get it as detailed and as interesting as possible for lower level players, because I know the higher level players here will have their own ideas of what way they want to work it, but it'll just be good, I suppose, just to give the newer players to the game an idea of how it works and what benefits are from early stages, the little extra bonuses it gives in the game, and to your players, obviously. There's another one actually now that just springs to mind, and I'm not sure if everybody knows. I know you guys will know, those of you who have been playing for years, but the achievements in Total Battle, I don't think I've done a video on that yet, but that's definitely one worth doing, because that is something that will drive might and experience points to your hero and or captains. Excuse me. And also the fact of it is a pity, actually, as both Neve and Johnny, and I'm sure some other of you on the channel here will know, if you're opening achievements, so let's just say I had an achievement here, for example, let's just say I got my hero to level 370. If you click on that, you'll see what you get if you get your hero to lead 370 and you claim it. So you get 41,000 in gold, and you'll get 3.9 million in might. And as your might level goes up, you'll also get experience points. That was a bad one to make an example of. Where do we go? Let's go to the Tower level workshop. So if I upgraded my Tower workshop to level 45, I'll get the following things. I'll get some XP, 3.6 million to be precise, some wood, some iron and some stone, and also some might. The experience points, or the XP that you get from these achievements, are important. And why they're important is the thing that will bring your captains and heroes up levels are experience points. Now, as you can see, I have here 50 billion experience points times 190. I got them from the Ragnarok store. I'm not going to use it now. I'm going to use that when Seasons Legacy begins after Seasonal Kingdom. But if I used that, it will increase the experience points and bring my hero on to the next level. What some people may not realize is if you have all of your windows filled with captains, that experience is going to be spread over all 4 of these characters. So what is important to do is, if you were only trying to level up, i.e. your hero, you can't remove your hero from the window. Unfortunately, you can remove captains. It's a pity you can't remove the hero, because it means then you could use this to just improve captains levels. So if you take out all of the captains and leave all windows blank, when I add that experience point then to my hero, they will only go to the hero, not to the captains, because the captains are not in the selected window. If you obviously have to increase your hero because you can't remove them, but if you wanted to only add experience to two of your can't call it hero, 2 of your characters, then you would have to leave your hero there, as I've already stated. You could add Captain Carter in, and now when you click on the add experience, that will split between these 2 characters, your hero and the captain, at a 50% rate. I'm 90% sure. So then remove him again, and you're only getting the experience onto your hero, and he'll level up. But I will do a video on that, because that actually is an important one to remember, and that's down to the achievements and the experience points that you get from achievements in the achievements window, i.e. this is your achievements window here. So it's important to go into these and try and do these as you go along. I mean, I'm at the last few here. There's nothing else to do after this. I'll never hire a Captain Beowulf. Don't need him. I have Cleo already. Why would I want him? My hero level, obviously, that will improve once I get him to 370 or her to 370. Then the next set will be 380, etc., etc. Captain Tangle up to 260. Again, that'll go to 270. So it basically goes up each time you round them up to a round figure. So yeah, I'll do a video on that, but I just thought I'd mention that here in case somebody does go to the extent of watching this whole stream again and listen and read everything. No, I do not have Beowulf. This, I told you, this is the first time I've done Seasonal Kingdom, and I was here for one thing and one thing only, and that is the 2 artifacts, the Forest Crown and the Heart of the Forest. Why would I want Beowulf? Like, what's the point of Beowulf when I have Cleopatra? I mean, I know I could get Beowulf, but Johnny, my head is like exploded. I have so much to do in this game. Try and do videos, try and do streams, try and play. That's why I had to leave Hype, for God's sake. I just can't keep up. I'm on wind down now. Okay, I don't need Beowulf to teach people how to play the game. I don't need Beowulf. I don't need Beowulf. I'm telling myself that because the only other thing I'm going to get, if I get G8, and if I even consider getting G9, which I'm just not going to do, because it's just, I need to be cloning myself. I need to clone myself and have my clone sit here all night while I sleep. God, that would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, no, I don't have Beowulf, and I'm not getting Beowulf. That's it. End of story. Okay, right back to the chat. I saved G9 achievements and used on Skadi at level 1. She went to 225 when I unlocked them. Yeah, but just bear in mind that you wasted a lot of achievements that you could have used on Seasonal Kingdoms, seasonal event that runs after Seasonal Kingdom. What was it called? I said it already. Yeah. Look, experience points are important. Experience points get you lots of things in the game and help you to level up your captains at the right time. They're the right thing to do. Don't bother ever using them for the event that comes up that is, I can't remember the name of it, but it basically lets you rank in that. The ranking in this gives you such little benefit. Like, wow, 10% to technology research speed. Not that I'll ever need that. But some people might, but yeah, no. How am I doing anyway in Clash of the Throne here? Okay, I'll probably finish Princeps. Happy enough with that. I say Gina. David, welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining. Glad you learned something new. Whether you learned it from the chat or you learned it from me waffling on here about stuff. What did I say I was going to do video on actually? The achievements, yeah. Sorry, excuse me while I just write something down here. It's nice to write instead of typing. It's old style, isn't it? Achievements vid. Yeah. Okay, the list grows. Did it really need that many question marks, Johnny? Do you know, actually? Yes, Free Soul, this will be available. It'll be in the Discord server. If you're not on that, let me just copy and paste. Well, actually, it's pinned there. So you'll see there's a pinned post. That is a invitation to the Discord server. Just click on that link and you'll be able to join my Discord server, and all of the videos, all except the members videos, will be in the YouTube channel. So just keep an eye for that. JC, good of you to join us. About to go to G6. Congrats. It will make a big difference. You will see a massive benefit to your troops, your attacks and stacking, etc, etc, etc. Tough choice, but what might help my clan the best? Long live the Republic. What might help your clan? I'll tell you exactly in one word. What will help your clan the best is conquest point runs, CP marches, and that is you and your clan all in one city attacking a stronger player that may be in your kingdom, and that will help everybody in the clan, absolutely hands down. The second thing would be basically growing. Growing in your your clan wealth. So if you click on your clan, you can see up here you have clan wealth, and you can see you have clan might. The might is basically down to the amount of players, whatever size they are, might level they are. That basically is what increases that. Your wealth is driven by the amount of chests that your clanmates do, so crypting. So the better they are at crypting, and the only way they're going to get better at that is all having their carters level up, and that in turn will drive your clan wealth up and will improve your clan exponentially. Okay, but next to that, the most important thing for sure is by getting all of your clan members stronger, and their way of getting stronger is this boost section. So in Academy, in the boost section, army modernization, it significantly enhances your army in battles against monsters and other players. That there is the most important tree, in my opinion, in the game. That is what you want to push all your clan members to be able to improve on. And by doing CP runs, that's what's going to happen. If you don't have a player in the kingdom, you will have to pay for CP runs. The payment is in silver. If you're lucky enough to be in a kingdom that there is some big clans and big players, they generally will offer it for a figure usually of about 3 million silver per billion. So 3 million silver per 1 billion CP gained. Or if people are doing individual runs, it's usually a fair figure is somewhere between 1.5 million and 2 million per billion. Per billion might gained. But look, I've done it for small players. If you only have a clan, sorry, I've got a fly in here and he's still annoying me. If you only have small members, clan members in your clan, if you had a big player to offer you some CP runs or give you CP runs and just throw them a little bit of silver from time to time, and basically it's shared. So if the whole clan does it, it makes it a little bit easier, and they all put some silver aside and they pay that player afterwards. If you want to reach out to me on Discord, I'll have a chat with you, find out what kingdom you're in, and see if I can help. Maybe have a chat with one of the clans there that may be in your kingdom, and maybe we can come to some arrangement. It's something that I can offer personally if you're in my kingdom, but it means a whole clan moving to my kingdom or players moving to my kingdom, and that's not always logistically possible, because obviously it does cost 180 gold to get a teleporter. To just teleport yourself to a kingdom, it costs, I think it's 270 for a clan. No, can't remember. Maybe it's 1 million for a clan. I can't remember now. I can look it up. What else? Would this live broadcast be available afterwards to Juventus? Yes, as I said, Free Soul, it will be available on the YouTube channel. Bayo is the #1 most important captain in the game, then Herc, then Cleo, then Helen, then Cap. Well, we'll have to disagree on that, Johnny, because for me to get Beowulf now, that means then I have to push Beowulf to get to a level above Captain Cleo. I already have Herc. What is the point of me getting another captain and having to go through the same rigmarole? I have Cleo up to 387, and I have Hercules up to 415. So he is my epic captain, and he gives strength to your against epic monsters. Beowulf doesn't. Beowulf is basically like Cleopatra. I know he's down here somewhere. Let's click on him for a second. Beowulf. Okay, the only real benefit, in my opinion, to him at my level is the fact that he gives a health boost to the army, okay? And a health boost to the army is of no use to me unless I'm doing CP runs. You know, I get... You can't log in the game. Sorry, I just got a message there from somebody else. I get why some people would like him, and sure, if you get him from the start and you're low level and you haven't got Cleopatra already and you haven't got Hercules already, then sure, okay, I'll agree with you there. But now for me, he's not worth the wasted time that I've just spent in the last 46 days in Seasonal Kingdom. I got the Forest Heart and I got the crown. That's all I want. That's for me, I know. That's for me, that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it, and I won't let anybody else change my mind on that matter. So, Johnny, sorry, you're on your own there. Carter. Yes, David, 100% Carter. I know we're slightly different. We're talking about Carter is definitely, at the start, Carter is the most important captain in the game. I don't care what anyone says. At the start, Johnny, you're not going to have an option for Beowulf. If you're only starting out in this game, and you're a level, you're 500,000 might or you're 200,000 might, you're not going to be dreaming of Carter, of Beowulf, okay? So, no, forget about it. Beowulf maybe for some, but no. The artifacts are going to do it for me, and I'll push on with Captain Logos, and I'll push on with AD, and I'll push on with Cleo. And I won't be doing another. I'm easing off. I'm easing back in the game. Carter. Yes, David, that's what I've said, and that's why I'll stick by that. I'm not going to switch to some captain that you have to commit to another aspect of the game and waste money in to get. So yes, Johnny, put this point to you. a player that it just wants to basically do what they can in the game and work as much as they can towards their clan and help their clan out are not going to do Seasonal Kingdom. You cannot get Beowulf or Skadi unless you do Seasonal Kingdom. If they opened either of those captains up to the main game, I might consider it, and other players might consider it. But to have to do an event that runs alongside what you are trying so hard to do to progress your account, just to me seems absolutely off the wall crazy. So no, Beowulf, and that's why I stand by my opinion and my decision to not bother with either Beowulf or Skadi. There you go. JC, you are welcome. You will fly. Yeah, reach out to me, JC. We'll have a chat. You built a clan in K186. The Republic. My season account will come back to K186 for means of CP. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what you should do, and that's what Seasonal Kingdom accounts are good for those who have done it. Anybody who hasn't done Seasonal Kingdom, don't worry. You don't need to do Seasonal Kingdom to make another city, a CP city. You can do it just simply by starting a new account. It means you have a second email and another account you have to keep an eye on. But given the fact that you're not going to have to worry about a shield on that second account, it's literally just going to sit there in your clan. You add it as a soldier or whatever way you want it to be. It will obviously benefit from any of the chests that the clan bring in, that the clan mates bring in, that your clan members bring into your clan. But that city can just sit there. You can call it CP City, and it will be used as a vehicle to put troops into to get attacked, put troops into to attack, and that's basically all it's going to do. So you don't need a Seasonal Kingdom account to do a CP City, but yes, it is beneficial, and you're going to use your Seasonal Kingdom account for something, right? I'm going to use mine for silver. I'm going to turn it into a silver alt, and it will give me extra silver. But that's because I have tier memberships. And for anybody who doesn't know my tier memberships, there are 3 options. You just need to go to my Ko-fi account. Let me see if I can pull that up so I can just show you this. Give me 1 second, please. I have to find it there first, and then I have to put it into... I have a million people looking for me off stream here today. Why is it always during a stream? Can I see that page now? Sorry. How do I view that actually? Sorry. I know I do it. My page, there we go. Now give me 1 section, I'll be able to show you this. I need to change that window capture. Sorry guys, just bear with me, I'm just going to show you this. I want to change that to that. There we go. Okay, and now if I pull this in, window capture. Okay, so you can see there, this is my my Ko-fi account. Anybody can go on there. I have supporters on there, but you can see here the options I give as regards tier memberships. So I've got 3 tier memberships. For those of you that don't know, basically I've got a bronze level, and the bronze level will give these, you get exclusive content, troop calculator. I have a silver tier membership, which also gives all of the same as the bronze, but it also gives you 50 million silver and 50 million building resources, i.e. stone, iron and wood, every month. Okay, and then I have a platinum membership, and the platinum membership gives you 100 million silver and 100 million of each of the building resources per month. plus conquest point runs. Now the thing about that conquest point runs is you do have to be in my kingdom to be able to avail of those, okay? Now that ideally will be settled and sorted when I finalize this month which exact kingdom I am going to do this setup of from the clan. So pop on there to the Ko-fi page if you wish. I will put a link to it in the chat here. Let me just copy that and we can pop that in here into the chat. 1 second. Where have I gone? Now I've pulled the wrong page out. YouTube, where are you going? Live streaming. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, too much to try and work out here. So, yeah, let me pop this down. Control V. Okay, so that basically is my Ko-fi page. If you want to go on there and you're interested in taking out a tier membership, you can have a look and see if you are interested. No pressure, absolutely not. I'm not pushing it. I'm not asking anybody to. The main reason that the members that I have tier members on there is they benefit greatly from the resources, i.e. the extra silver and building resources every month. I know they find that really, really useful in the game, but like I say, no pressure. I'm not asking anybody to, but if it's something you're interested in, just please pop on there and you'll be able to find out all about it. And back to the chat. So we're getting close to the end of the feed now. I'm on 3 hours and 20 minutes. I was going to kill it at 3 hours, but I'm happy to have the questions and I'm trying to get through as many of them as I can. What else have I got here? Yes, Guan Yu is important for 1 versus 1. Neve, thanks for pointing that out. I did say, I'm nearly sure I did a CP video actually. Did I do a CP video? I'll have to check now. Content and videos. Shadow City character, total battle for armies. VP, simple CP. Yeah, it's called simple CP, total battle. I do touch on that and I speak about Guan Yu. So if you guys want to see that video, let me pull it out. Get a shareable link. All the videos obviously are on the YouTube channel. So if you just pop into videos and look, it's about halfway down the list. And it is called PvP CP March How To. So yeah, I do have it covered there, Neve, but thanks for mentioning the fact that Guan Yu is important. If you're doing 1 versus 1 CP, you do have to have Guan Yu because that means that you always get first hit. And first hit is important if you are trying to one-shot all of the other players' flying units or mounted units, whatever they're using in their CP run. What else? Did I miss anything there? Season account to come back to 186. Yep, perfect. It's a money grab. Yeah, of course it is. This whole game is a money grab. You know, I know they say you can play Total Battle without spending any money. You can, but if you are talking about marching for 40 minutes to get to a citadel to attack it, and you log off and sign out of the game when you send your march, and then you get back to find out, why is my army dead? All my army are dead. And you go into your attack reports to find out why your army died when you sent the exact amount of monsters that you needed to kill the citadel, only to find out that you ended up attacking somebody's portal. Because some smart arse saw you going to attack a citadel, attacked it themselves, put a portal in the place of the citadel, and you end up smacking into their portal instead of the citadel that you'd sent to attack. There's people like that in the game, and there's things like that can happen in the game. And the only way around that is for you to buy Total Battle's speed-ups to be able to march on that citadel faster, or buy their portals. So it is definitely a game for people with money. It's what a lot of new players come to the game find out in a very short amount of time, and it's why so many people quit the game new players specifically, but also players who've played it for years. Geez, I remember back when I played it first, you could share tar with players, you could share dragon coins with players. You got dragon coins from many aspects of the game versus what you get them from now. You got tar from crypts in the game. It wasn't always citadels. You got way more tar in citadels. Basically, they've squeezed over the years, so much so that new players joining now have no idea how much fun Total Battle was back then. The only reason people get fun out of it now is they're still playing it, and the accounts they started 4+ years ago, 3+ years ago, 2+ years ago, have built to such a size that they don't need to worry so much about mercenaries or tar, because they get so many good gifts from the Rise of Ancients event. It's about the only good thing the Total Battle gave the game was Rise of the Ancients event. It's a money grab, it's so obvious. I'm waiting for them to open them up someday. They'll just add a new captain or two. Yeah, look, there will be new captains, more new captains coming. Which captains, I assume, is the I before the O beside? Yeah, so you just press the I and hit the O at the same time. Which captains should be ignored so you don't waste? I touched on that earlier on, David. For me, don't bother with Bran. And for me, don't bother with doing too much work on your siege engines. I would only really bring them up to maybe a level 3 or level 4. After that, the VP is far more important to use in other areas of the game, i.e. your ranged units, your monsters, and what else? Ranged monsters and archaeology, for sure. Engineer cores, waste of time. If anybody wants to batter your walls down, believe you me, they will batter them down. Citadels are the only thing that you really need siege engines for. Again, I touched on that a little earlier. If you do want to go back and watch the whole video again, I know it's going to be a long one today, the whole stream. But yeah, I did touch on it earlier on. Citadels are the only reason really to use siege engines in the game. Obviously, when you get to a certain level and you have lots of spare VP, then you can pile it all in at that stage. In fact, if I knew what I knew today, I wouldn't have spent a penny of Valor points on siege engines or walls. I would now have 467 trillion and I could just fly through them and do them all. So yeah, they're for me. Other captains, I will do another video on it, because to touch on it now is going to be very hard to. But if you want to just have a look at the lower captains in my arsenal here, you can see I've done nothing with Lucius. I've done nothing with Yi Ho Sung. Bran is very low. I actually really haven't done anything with. I've done a little bit on Alexander, and that's because I was considering using him as my mounted captain if somebody wanted to do CP runs against me. But I was using Corax up to now, which flying units always, which is why I have Brunhild and Wu Zetian up at a high level. So they really are the captains to not bother with. Bran, yes, you need to use him at the start until you get Minamoto, and once you get Minamoto, then you will stop using Bran. You will only use Minamoto. So really, there's only a couple of captains, in my opinion. Basically, those bottom two lines there. Whilst Sophia is okay because she gives your army health a boost. Again, it's kind of, if you had an extra captain slot, you could use some of these captains. But for me, you're going to end up using the ones that are really specific to the army that you're building. And A-Day gives, obviously, the guardsmen boosts. Logos gives your specialists their boosts, and then you're going to have a fighting captain to add in there. So yeah, look, that's one for a very long video to go through it all. Again, it will be my opinion on it. Other people may clash and say, no, I use these, I use that. For instance, Captain Doria. I know a lot of people use Captain Doria early on in the game, but they're using her wrong. They think they're using her and getting a VP bonus, but they're not, because they're smacking her up against an epic squad and she's dying. Captain Doria only gives a VP bonus when she wins the battle. She is useful, certainly, early on in the game. but you end up driving her level up where you could be driving a more important captain's level up. You know what I mean? They've put things in the game to mess with players' heads, and you're trying then to do too many things and increase captains, and then you get to a stage where you go, why did I spend so much time on Daria when I could have spent it on Cleopatra, or just for you, Johnny, or spent it on Beowulf or Skadi? You know what I mean? Look, there's too much in the game versus another game that you might play where there are only a certain amount of captains or a certain amount of heroes that you can use. When they've put so many in there and they do so many different things, it gets messy. And it's a good question, and it's a good point to raise. What else? Yes, so hopefully that a little bit answers your question in short, David, but I do have one on captains, a video on captains, I'm sure. Let me have a look. Captain. No, I did do one about Captain Stror. Stror is kind of important, but only up to a certain degree. PvP. I did gems. Yeah, no. So we haven't really done. I did one on heroes, and gave my opinion on the most important hero in the game. But no, I didn't do one on captains. So yes, there's another one to add to the list. I need more paper. So we want a full video on game captains. And importance of. Again, look. I know these are my opinions, and there are players here of high level who have their own opinions, and I suppose that's where the game is interesting, that my opinion on a certain captain to use or not to use may differ greatly from another's experiences within that game. There are lots of things that I can tell you and have told you in various videos that there is no doubt about in the game, but there is grey areas. There are grey areas, and others have different ideas and like to do things different ways. So yeah, look, all I can do is give you my opinions and what I've found, and what I've found has worked for me over the years. Other people may come on and have totally different ideas. But the one thing I will say is, where I may, and I know that I haven't spent anywhere near what Riffer has spent in this game. He's bought his way to a certain extent to the top. If you have the money to do that, hey, what you do with your money is totally up to you. For those who don't have and just a small budget to work on, there are the important things that you need to progress and speed through the game to get to certain levels. By all means, do them. Your passes for Triumphal Challenge, your Premium Pass, your Forest Pass for Seasonal Kingdom. You know, they're all things that will help you progress faster. But they aren't necessary to spend money on, but they do help you along greatly. Mercenary packs will help you along greatly if you use them in the right way. If you buy mercenary packs and you front load your army with thousands of mercs and they all die within the first set of attacks because you didn't get the first hit, okay, they've got a couple of hits in. If you've sent 3 squads of mercenaries and the monster gets the first hit, your first squad didn't get anything. Your second 2 squads will get something, okay? But then they'll get killed. You're better off keeping low levels of mercenaries, and then they get hit after hit after hit after hit in a well-stacked army. Okay, so yeah, mercenaries are a useful thing as well. So where are we again? Don't mind spending money, just frugally. Yeah, 100%. And anybody who's played this game or is playing this game knows that you do have to spend a few quid to progress. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point playing this game. You're better off going playing something that you don't need to spend. Buy a game, stick it in your computer, play it, and don't go online, and don't waste money, and don't give Total Battle what you can't afford. That's what it's all about. Look, it's the same as life, right? Ingrid is very underused but extremely important. Yes, she indeed is, Johnny. And just to mark one point that I use Ingrid a lot is in attacking citadels. And let me actually, do I have, let me just check something here. 3, 4 is 10. Okay, let me just show you something here. Now, you obviously all won't be able to do this because it is a health related issue and a captain related issue, but I'm going to use Wu Zetian, I'm going to use Ingrid, and I am going to use Ramses. Repair. Okay, and I am going to look for, let's activate my watchtower for 6 hours. I am going to look for a cursed, no, that's not odd. I'm going to look for a cursed citadel, level 25. Level 25, there's one there. And what I can do, just to show you with this cursed citadel and these captains selected, make sure I just switch this to Great Marshal, and I can send 3 Fire Phoenix 2, 4 Fire Phoenix 1, and I think it's 10,000, but we'll go with 10,887. Do I have it saved? Can't remember now. 3 and 4. Anyway, it's 15 minutes. I'll speed up the march and you can just see. So this is what I use my Ingrid for. What you can also use your Ingrid for would be if you're attacking with monsters. If you're attacking with mercenary monsters and monsters, then in the 3 captains that you might use against Arachne or Briareus, you basically can include her plus your other 2 fighting captains, and she will give your monsters a massive boost. Both your silver monsters, i.e. monsters you make with silver troops, with silver coins and dragon coins, and monsters in the game with mercenary monsters. So I just attacked that level 25 cursed citadel, and as you can see, I one-shotted it. In other words, I didn't lose the battle. So this is where Ingrid really comes into play, because she gives both my flying squad monsters a bonus in the attack. So basically, even though the monster dealt first attack, I was able to withstand each of those attacks right the whole way down and one-shot a level 25 cursed citadel. So that's where Ingrid you may find useful in the game. And yeah, it's handy because I can just whittle off a load of those 25 cursed citadels and they bring in a chest for the clan members. So yeah, that's just one little benefit that I've found for using Ingrid. What else? Siege for citadels and PvP. Well, as you can see, I did use siege engines there for citadels, Legru, but you can see what I used. So I do have Josephine 2s, but Josephine 2s, just to go in here and just show you something else that's important, I feel. Go into Engineer Corps. So here is my Josephine 2s, okay? You can see that they are massively good in strength and health, and that's brilliant. So you may say to me, why am I using a level 4 citadels in so many when I could only use maybe 50 of the Josephine 2s, or 100 or whatever it is? I don't know what the exact amount. I think 100 takes down the walls for a level 25 citadel. And the reason is this. If you look here at your siege engines, you can see here your leadership and speed. The speed of a Josephine 2 is 23, okay? That means that the march is going to take me far longer than it will if I use the level 4 siege engines. So speed level 23 for the top siege engine, and speed for this level 4 catapult siege engine is 38. So that actually brings me down to the same speed as my monsters that I'm using. So by using those, even though they're in greater number, and the way you calculate it is you find out, let's say I need 100 to do this, you just keep multiplying it until you work out what it is. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels lower. I need 10,000 basically to be able to take the walls out, whereas I need 100 to be able to take the walls out using the Josephine 2. So that's basically what I do. It gives me a slightly better speed, ability, and I can get to the Citadel faster. Now that's not important if you're in a kingdom that there's nobody rushing for a Citadel. You know, it doesn't matter. But when you're in a kingdom that's filled with players that are all trying to attack Citadels because it's part of their clan requirements, trust me, you want to be able to get to them faster than anybody else does. What else to do? Ingrid, siege engines, long live Total Battle Complete Guide, first of its name, sharer of knowledge and streamer extraordinaire. Thanks, JC. How can I like that? I don't know how I like something on this. This is crazy. I don't think I can, actually. Thank you, sir or madam. Very kind of you. Doria is good for runics. Yeah, look, they all have a place in the game. They wouldn't have been created if they didn't have a place in the game. Doria is actually handy to have as well for heroics. If you're doing heroics in a clan march, look, it all gives anything that she stays alive in basically. She is beneficial, and she will bring in extra valor points. You could even use her when you're attacking with citadels. So if you're attacking a level 15 or a level 10 citadel using Wyvern, to where you can kill them without losing any troops, then yeah, it works perfectly. Yes, it did, and I'm starting to notice all that you just said as I'm getting stronger. Good, David. I'm glad to hear that. If even one person on my video stream tells me that it is helping what I'm telling them, that it's not gobbledygook and it's not all rubbish, whether it's me that's telling them or whether it's somebody in the chat that's telling them, it's about helping and giving the players the knowledge to not make the mistakes that maybe we all made when we started the game out. Okay, that's the important part. Can you tell me what enchantments and gems you place on Ingrid, please? Yeah, sure. I'll just show you if I go back into Ingrid here now. So basically what I've given her is I've given her the flying squad armor, and I've given her the flying squad gems. So she has, I did give her strength to guardsmen, but I might change that up. But I have her set in such a way as, I think I was doing something with her. I think I was just attacking some flying squads actually during Ruthless Slaughter last, and that's why she has these ones on. But given the fact of the format that I attack those cursed citadels with, I would always give her either a health or a strength gem to flying units, because the flying units are the ones that she is, as you can see, attacked in that attack against the cursed citadel. So I have just 2 flying units in there. I don't need to put anything onto the siege engines because obviously they are just going to take the walls down on a cursed citadel. They don't get targeted by the centaur. Whereas if you're attacking an elven citadel, you know that they will get targeted by the centaur, and they will normally have losses there. But on a cursed citadel, they're not targeted, so they're fine. In fact, I saw somebody attacking a cursed citadel with all siege engines. But yeah, that's what I put on her. Hope that helps you. You can give that a go. Storo is a mystery, especially due to the artifact pickaxe. I think people are over level Stror. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Stror, I suppose, is useful for you when you're low level and you have to mine, because he will give you that boost of mining. The carrying capacity, well, actually, sorry, Stror is definitely not something that you can over level. One of the players, good friend of mine in Hype, has his straw up to 420 now. Why, you may ask? Well, straw doesn't stop where Carter stops as regard his carrying capacity ability. And if you look at any of the players that attack silver cities, silver banks, you will always see them carry straw with them because he gives a massive bonus to carrying capacity of silver. So let's just say I scout a city and I've found a city that has 600 million silver in it. As soon as I get back from the scouting, I'll put in my fighting captains and I'll add straw in and add his bonuses on. Make sure resource collection, I think it does. So resource gathering speed on the world map. I'm not sure, I'm not 100% sure, but you can see I have mine filled. There's 115 days on there. So you send him as well, along with G1, hundreds of thousands of G1 spearmen. And obviously they have a massive carrying capacity of 250, more than any other troop in the game. And basically they're also very fast, and you send them and I may be able to take 600 million silver in one trip, whereas another player may have to go back a couple of times, and there's a chance that the city may shield or somebody may send reinforcements. So that's why using straw, and definitely worth leveling straw up as you improve in the game. Okay, Johnny, well then you're not, he's not useless, definitely not. When you start attacking silver cities and there's a lot of silver there to steal, you will find straw is beneficial the higher he goes, especially the fact where what else are you going to level up when you get to a certain point? Like me, for example, bar leveling Cleo up, I will level straw up because I have the silver to be able to build the troops, to be able to send him against epics, especially if it's not the clan requirement, or I have the time to be able to send the extra troops there to send two captains at once and level them up that way. So he is definitely beneficial, and that's where he is useful. Earlier on in the game, and players are just using him to mine silver or building resources. Again, I have my own opinion on that. If you're in a kingdom that there are large players, I personally would like to see more large players help the smaller players. And by way of help is them sending them building resources, because you know how many millions of building resources we have. Crikey. If I go in now and just have a quick look here actually at building resources. So I'll go into my wood, for example. If I go down here, I have 13,684 times 5 million wood. I am never going to use that. I don't have a city. The only thing I would do with that would be to open a lot of it. So if I had silver available to be stolen and I had my shield down, if a player comes and attacks me, they're going to have to get through all of their building resources before they can take the big glut of silver at the same time. But I think more players, big players in kingdoms that have smaller players in, should caravan them some building materials, because it'll help them grow. You know, I mean, Jesus, what are they going to do with it? It's sitting there useless. It takes 2 seconds for them or 2 minutes for them to, 30 seconds for them maybe to even send a caravan of building resources to a small player that is trying to grow in the game and trying to get somewhere. So that's my opinion on that. What else? Actually, look, I'm going to come to the end of this stream now. I know I have more questions, but I'll have more on the next one, and the next one is on Saturday evening. I might have to change it slightly. I have visitors this weekend and I don't know what way it's going to work. So I may have to do a slight alteration on the Saturday feed. I may have to bring it forward slightly, or I might move it to... I might move it forward today. I'll have a look. I'll leave a message on Discord. Please keep an eye on the Discord channel. I'll put it in the announcement section on there, and I'll let you all know in advance where possible if I'm going to change a stream like that. The midweek ones are working fine. So yeah, what is that? The last one there, 400 level Cleo, 400 level Bao, 400 level Ingrid, and pickaxe level 60 should be able to collect plenty of silver horses. Yeah, well, you can, but you'll get more 100% if you put straw in as well. Because remember, if you've found silver in a city and let's say it's a low level city, you're not going to need massive captains to be able to kill the army that's there, but you will need Stror there to be able to get all that silver in one go. Trust me, you don't want to make 2 trips. You want to be able to do it once, because sometimes somebody's maybe just forgot. They see there's an attack on their phone and they're going to come running back and switch their shield on. So really, you don't have time to do both. That's my opinion again. Okay, guys, look, thank you to everybody who has joined the stream today. It's been very enjoyable. It's nice to be able to have that bit of banter and answer questions, and also see players answer questions where I haven't got time or haven't quickly got to them. So yeah, it is very important that there are larger players on here like yourself, Johnny, and Neve. Thanks for your input today. I appreciate you all as always, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next stream. It's been fun to not have to be finding something to do. I much prefer answering questions than popping on a map that, as I say, is very uninspiring to just see a little character running to a crypt and coming back. I think it's more fun to have questions answered and be able to talk about stuff online. So long live Bran. Thanks, Johnny. Listen, everyone who joined the stream today, all the questions, thanks a million. Don't be afraid to check out my Discord channel, the Ko-fi channel, if you're interested in taking out a tier membership. There are benefits to it, obviously the resources and the silver for one. And until the next stream on either Saturday or Friday or sometime close to the weekend, Curf, peace out.